Hello, and welcome to Reserve Inspirations D&D Live, where my friends and I play Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition, sci-fi style, for your entertainment. My name is Aaron Benner, and I'm your Galaxy Master. Tonight, like any other night, I am joined by my lovely friends and players, starting at the top right and circling around this time. We have Lord Richard as Tita, Sarah Doobie as Captain Emmy Strang, Mike Bridges as Zaxa Zior, Kayla Adams as Zinesi, and Priya Tate as Minerva. And of course, our tech guy, Andy Souza, is in the background making sure everything's working for us. And is that what we're calling him now? Tech guy? Good term? Yes, no? I don't know, whatever. Announcements. So we're here live Mondays. Our times have been fluctuating lately. At the moment, it's 7:15 to 10:15. Who knows? It could be changing soon, but it's always Mondays in the late evening. And that's on Twitch. If that time doesn't work for you, do not fret. You can watch it on YouTube when we upload that on Fridays at 10 a.m. And of course, we always appreciate a like, a subscribe, and any comments on YouTube. Now we do have a little, we're kind of taking a step back to our old ads that we did for the Game Reserve, and we are doing an ad today for a new segment that we have coming, and it's Just the Tips. I will let you all take that over. Go for it.
Dad!
Yes, girls.
You have to check out the new sneak peek video that Reserve Inspiration just uploaded.
Oh, yeah? What's it called? I'll look it up right now.
Just the tips.
What? What did you say?
Just the tips.
They're a series of informational videos hosted by GM Aaron from Reserve Inspirations D&D.
Oh.
Why? What did you think the videos were of?
Nothing.
The first video consists of 5 segments role-playing games, RPGs, getting started for GMs, getting started for players, homebrew versus adventure modules, and player etiquette. This is going to be so helpful for when I run games with my friends.
Yeah, and Just the Tips is coming soon. Valentine's Day, in fact.
Valentine's Day, you say? I'm gonna have to share Just the Tips with your mother.
Yay!
We
We love Reserve Inspiration.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mike, Priya, and Christina. Christina, it is so wonderful to have you on stream with us, even if it is only for a few minutes this evening.
I know. Good to be back.
But for those of you who love Christina and her character Plonk, we have some exciting news. Christina, if you would like to take it away.
Sure. Soon, starting in March, the beginning of March, there will be a new spin-off coming called Adventures of Plonk. And it'll be showing where I've been and what I've been doing and what's to come. So really excited about that. I can't wait.
Yeah, it should be pretty fun. So it'll essentially, at least in the beginning, featuring myself as the GM. I'll be playing, obviously, all the NPCs as normal. Christina will be playing her character Plonk. We'll have some special guests coming in and out as we see fit. So yeah, it should be pretty exciting. We should have an episode every week. They're going to be a lot shorter than this one, just an hour each. But yeah, it should definitely be a good time. So check it out. Priya, you have some things to talk about.
Yes, I do. It's time for my spiel. So, social media, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr. Just search up Reserve Inspiration. Give us a like, give us a follow, keep up with what we're doing. We've also got a Discord server now, and the links to that are in our Twitch bio, as well as our social media bios. So if you want to come hang out, talk D&D, share some memes, join our server. It's a pretty fun time. That's it for social media. And for today's space fact, I was thinking about our galactic neighbors again. I know a space fact that I did a while ago was talking about the closest galaxy to us, which is Andromeda. And this week I wanted to know what the closest star to us is, aside from the sun. So like the sun's closest neighbor, I guess. That star happens to be called Proxima Centauri. It is a part of a star system called the Alpha Centauri star system. And it's about I don't know if I'm going to say this right because it's a huge number. I had to ask my dad how to say it because he's good at math. But it's 40,208,000,000,000 kilometers away. So it has 4 commas and a lot of zeros in it, and I wasn't sure how to say it. So
Just a stone's throw.
that's our
Just
closest
right
star
down the
neighbor.
road.
Oh, fantastic. All right. Do we have any other announcements for this evening? Christina, do you have anything else you want to plug? Anything else you want to talk about?
Nope, I don't think so.
All right, fantastic. Well, then you know what that means. It's time for a recap of what happened last time on Reserve Inspirations D&D. The majority of the party, including Minerva, Zoxa, Tita, Emmy, Modron, and Diambra, have been beneath the waves, battling their way through a Sahagan temple with the hopes of recovering an artifact worth 1,000 credits to their employer, Madame Fairchild. After successfully gaining entry to the inner sanctum of the temple, we find our heroes in battle with Sahagan cultists intent on completing some sort of ritual. The ritual is seemingly successful as a massive 25-foot stone shark statue from the first room came to life in the form of the Sahagan's shark-like deity, Seloka. This began to take a turn for the worst. Things began to take a turn for the worst as the possessed I can't talk this evening. My mouth is just very dry. Possessed shark statue took charge of the waters, swallowing Minerva while the Sahagan priestess took pot shots at the party with spells from afar. Through some clever tactics and Tita just beating the ever-loving Frel out of the shark, all the while riding it bucking bronco style, the party soon cleared the field and Emmy took the priestess captive. While all of this was taking place beneath the waves of Muspelheim, deep in the volcanic caverns of Nidavellir Prime, Zinesi and Kubrick make their way to the fire giant blacksmith known as Gurkus. They didn't take the conventional route, but instead decided to enter through a secret passage found within the recently confiscated lair. Unfortunately, due to Zinesi's arcane mobility chair not possessing the ability to fly straight up the vertical tunnels, Kubrick had to carry Zin the entirety of the way, which for him was a great feat. What they did not account for was the door could only be opened with a mask owned by the previous occupants, which they didn't have. What Zinesi did have was an arcane cannon, which she decided to use to blast the door down the door leading to the foyer of Gurkus's home. And for those of you who do not know, Gurkus is the father of Minerva's arch nemesis, number 1. So after blasting a massive hole in Gurkus's wall, the fire giant, standing roughly 18 to 20 feet tall, came in to investigate the loud explosion and quickly located the intruders. Picking up Zinesi in one of his massive hands, Gurkus began to interrogate her until his son arrived, at which point he turned them over to him to let number 1 decide their fate. And that is pretty much where we left off. The party did level up to level 6. So everyone has a few new abilities, have more hit points, spells. It's very exciting stuff. Maybe you'll get to see some of it today. Who knows? But that is where we pretty much left off. So I would like to begin underneath Muspelheim with the larger of the two parties. So you all, if you want to pop over to Roll20, you can get an image of what happened previous, but I kind of have everyone congregated up by the altar where Emmy has the Sahagan priestess kind of, you got her in a chokehold, right, Emmy?
Yeah. Nope. Oop. Okay. Sorry about that. Yes, I done choked her out.
Yeah. So you got her held down, and all of the other threats besides this priestess have been quelled inside this this inner sanctum. So I turn it over to you. What would you like to do? Oh, you're all hurting, like 1 to 8 hit points, right? I think a couple of you have more than that, but everyone's in rough shape.
Not Zoxa. He's doing great.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah.
I'm gonna heal myself
Hmm.
immediately.
Oh yes, miss 1 hit point.
I'm at 1 hit point. All right, cool. So I'm just gonna like put a hand on my own shoulder and cast some good cure wounds. Okay, I rolled max healing for that. That's great.
Ooh,
I got 11 hit
nice.
points back, so now I'm at 12 hit points.
Emmy, you see Minerva just kind of put a hand on her chest, and you see this golden glow kind of emanate, and you can see some of her cuts and bruises and whatnot begin to seal up. And as she's doing that, you're kind of like holding this priestess, and she's like struggling, trying to like break free from your grasp. Minerva's just healing herself off to the side, no problem.
I've got 2 more. I can heal 2 more people. Who needs it? Pizza, you're looking kind of rough. All right, I'm gonna go over to Tita, cast some cure wounds as well.
I'm not feeling too great, and I'm out of my reserves for healing. So, if we could take maybe a rest or something, that wouldn't be too bad.
I think that might be a good idea. Tita, you're gonna get 10 hit points.
There's just one problem with that rest. I'm just kind of this one creature. Can I like maintain this?
Give me an athletics check. Let's see. I think you're going to be fine unless you roll a 1.
19.
Yeah, no problem. She's struggling, but you've got like she's got kind of a pointy chin, and you've got a good hook going there. She's not breaking free from that. She's just trying.
Good. Very good.
I can also heal Modi and Diambra a little bit. I can. Yeah, I've got 1 more cure wounds that I can use for Modi, and then I have healing hands if Diambra needs that. So.
I would not say no to that, but if you want to reserve it, then I would say to do so. If we're resting, I should be fine.
Do it yourself. Let me know if you need it.
Thank you.
All right, so Modi is going to get 8 hit points back.
Okay. He is at 1/3 health.
Oh, it feels much better. Thank you, Minerva.
Anytime. So, Emmy, what exactly is your plan?
I mean, I thought maybe we could just ask some questions about what we're looking for.
Does she speak a language? Does she speak a language that we know?
You don't know. Emmy, you are talking, but there's no sound. Oh, you're good now. That was weird.
Oh, I'm not muted.
No, you're
I was
not.
just kind of making the face like What? I mean, I guess we can wail on this thing if nobody wants to, but I mean, as Emmy, I don't really know. You want me to tie her up? I don't have any rope.
That would be more helpful. I have rope if you'll help me tie her up.
Anybody?
I don't mind. Yes, I can help. And Diambra will come over to you and start helping to tie it up.
So, what was the task at hand? We're looking for something in here.
Yeah, we're looking for the bust of a goddess named Erdrifania. She is the goddess of wind, storms, that type of thing.
All right, I haven't seen anything like that yet, but I'll start looking around.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll start just walking around the that larger rectangular section where the pedestal is, where that altar is. He's gonna start kind of like checking out the walls, kind of peer off the edges into the water, that kind of thing. What's the rest of you doing?
I want to investigate this shark over here. Because there was a lever in the mouth of the one in the other room.
Indeed, there was.
So I would like to not reach my hand in to to search, but would still like to search.
Sure. You can give me, give me an investigation check.
I will do that.
I will say with your passive perception, you notice as you're walking over to the shark that its mouth is not open, but otherwise-
Okay. Ooh, 9 + 6, that's 15.
Okay. Yeah, you take a few minutes and you kind of, run your hands across the smooth stone outer side, across its fins, across its face. Yeah, and it just seems like this particular one is just a statue, to the best of your knowledge.
Hmm. Well, nothing here.
You see now that you have this priestess, she is tied up. I'm assuming like maybe Emmy tossed her against the wall over here. Diambra is going to just stand there with a trident or a spear to her throat to make sure she doesn't do anything, while the rest of you kind of search around and rest. So,
Is this going to be like an official short rest? Can
we can call it an official short rest unless your character is physically doing something. So if you're just going to sit there and do nothing, that's fine. But if you're going to go start investigating, checking areas, that's not considered a rest because you're physically doing something.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, can I
So it's
go
up to
scope
you.
out, like, the wall?
Yeah, I would say that Diambra can take a short rest because she's literally just sitting there with a spear at the ready kind of situation. Whereas if she were, if this thing was struggling and she had to hold her, that would not be considered a short rest because she's physically, trying to maintain something. But with that being said, are you taking a rest first, or do you want to search and some people rest? It's up to you guys.
I want to search like the wall area, and then I'll probably rest after that.
Sure. Right back where you are currently, Tita?
Yeah, kind of like left to right of that. Like,
Yeah.
to the left of the little priestess lady. I probably won't cross over to the other side.
Okay. Yeah, so make an investigation check as you kind of start from the lower cavern floor and kind of like make your way up, surveying the area.
18 plus 0, so 18.
18. All right. Yeah, so you start going through. There is a statue, like the face of a Sahagin, built into the corner of this platform, kind of off to the left of where you are standing at the moment. Other than that, you get like some slimy seaweed attached to the rocks, but yeah, there's really nothing. It just seems like a rough rock wall. Anyone else?
I want to come over here towards the priestess, and like I don't think this is gonna actually yield anything, but I do want to try and maybe question her. Do we share a language? I don't know.
Absolutely.
But I guess before trying to narrow down a language, I guess I'll just start with common, and I want to see if she reacts to the name of the goddess. So I'm just gonna like look at her and just like Adriphania.
Her expression doesn't seem to change.
All right, I'm just gonna say, oh gosh, all right, the other three languages I know, one by one, I would like to say in Infernal, Celestial, and Primordial, do you understand me?
Yeah, so I'll make an insight check. Actually, what's your passive insight? It's like 12, right?
Passive insight is, it's a 13.
13, yeah. Looking at her, her expression doesn't change. She has this expression of disdain. Like if she had the ability to be free, she'd probably charge at you and try to rip your throat out.
Yeah.
She just has that like disgusted, like I want to kill you for what you've done to us kind of eyes. She does not react to any of that.
Okay. So like none of those languages.
None of those languages, no.
All right.
I want to punch her then.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
not even gonna make you roll because she's tied up. She can't do anything. You can just literally like get straddle over and just go poof, right in the face.
Then I'm gonna say,
So
you can ask to my friend.
how much damage do you do?
Oh,
It's a D4 plus what do you got? 3, I think,
yeah.
or 2, something like that. 3,
Okay, so 3 plus 3, 6.
6 points. Nice. She just kind of like, yeah, she takes that hit. She's like, just kind of like looks back up. You can see it's instantly starting to kind of swell over.
I give like the faintest nod to Emmy. I want to just like kind of call out to the rest of the room. Does anyone know any languages aside from Celestial, Infernal, or Primordial?
Yeah, that's a good question. Let me bring up Modi and D'Amber. Hold on.
All right, I'll take care of this.
Wonderful.
D'Amber, before you get to do anything, D'Amber starts talking. And the thing just kind of like doesn't do anything, just looks at it. She's like, well, I tried.
I say Skilia Tongumal, and I cast Comprehend Languages.
Mm.
There we go.
She doesn't seem to be saying anything at the, well, hold on. Comprehend languages, I believe, is for written text, no?
For the duration, you understand the literal meaning of any spoken language that you hear. You also understand any written language that you see.
Okay. Tongues is the one that you can communicate back, right?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, she's just at the moment, as you cast this, she's just breathing heavy. She isn't really saying anything.
Well, she doesn't seem like much of a talker.
Can I try and cast Charm Person
Sure.
on this thing?
Yeah. It's what, a wisdom save, I believe?
Yes.
What's your DC? 14?
Yeah.
Okay. You see her demeanor as you cast this. You see her demeanor stay the same for everyone else. Like as you kind of watch her eyes, and as her eyes trail along each person, she still has the same disdain for everyone. But as soon as her eyes meet you, all the disdain seems to go away, and she has like this, like a friend look in her eyes.
Okay. Then I'm gonna turn to Zaxa and be like, okay, ask her now. Why she's here.
Very well.
For me. Tell her it's for me.
She wants you to tell her what you're doing here.
She looks utterly confused and doesn't understand what you're saying.
She's not speaking to me.
I mean, maybe if you say something to her, she might try to say something back.
Me, right? All right. So I'm gonna creep up to her then, since she likes me for a second. And I'm just gonna ask her, what's a pretty creature like you doing down here?
She kind of cocks her head to the side as if she doesn't understand you. And she just says one word in her language. She's, and Zaxa, you understand that to be friend?
She said friend.
And she starts to nod as you nod and put your thumbs up. She does the same.
Okay. I'm gonna try and like gesture to her and gesture to Zaxa and do this.
So yeah, she looks to Zaxa with like she doesn't trust you, Zaxa. But she does one of those things where she like
Makes
looks
sense.
at you like she doesn't trust you, then looks back to Emmy like, "Are you sure?" And then back to Zaxa like, "Fine," kind of situation.
Okay. Then I'm gonna hug Zaxa to show her that we're friends.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, Zaxa, just go with it. And then I'm gonna go with it.
Do you allow the hug, Zaxa?
Right? She's like, we're best friends, and he's like, no.
You're lucky that you caught me with no spells.
Yes. Okay.
I certainly can't stop you.
So yeah, Emmy runs up, just big bear hug around Zaxa. And you see, as you're doing that, Emmy, you can feel that Zaxa's super uncomfortable, first off. But secondly,
I'm gonna whisper I'm sorry while I'm doing it.
You see the Sahagin priestess, her demeanor kind of relax a bit and change towards Zaxa. The rest of the other people, Diambra, Minerva, whoever else is around, no.
I will walk away. I don't want to hinder them communicating.
Sure. Diambra kind of looks to the two of you, Emmy and Zaxa, like, do you want me to step away too? She's holding the spear kind of at her still.
I'll just nod toward her.
She'll take a few steps. She takes like maybe 10 feet back kind of thing. And as that happens, you can see now. I believe both of your passive perceptions, or insights, are at least 12, right?
Mine is 14.
Okay.
18, bro.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you got the crazy insight. Yeah, you can read literally anyone pretty much. So you can both kind of make out that as Minerva and Diambra kind of step back, she seems to, like, her shoulders relax a little bit. She kind of slumps back into her seat, like where she is up against the wall.
Good.
Yeah, she's just sitting there, calm now. I just want to make sure that the two of you are comprehending that when Zaxa's speaking, he's still speaking in common.
Oh yeah,
I know. Can't understand what he's saying.
Right.
He can understand what she says with his spell.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I'm well aware of that. That's why I haven't been talking the entire time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I misread that. All right. Let me.
There is, just so you know, Sarah, there is another spell out there called Tongues that if you cast on yourself, you're allowed to speak and understand others. But
would you allow me
do that one?
Would you allow me to make some sort of check to see if I recognize at least what language she spoke when she said friend?
It's going to be a high DC, but I will have you, you can make an intelligence check.
I will do that. That is a 20, not natural.
Ooh, all right. That was actually the DC I was looking for, believe it or not. So though I wouldn't say that you know specifically what it is, because you've, again, never heard it before, but it is similar to that of the language of the Tritons. And you believe that this might be a variation specifically for the shark-like Sahagin. It's like what they would use. It's kind of like a more guttural version of what the Triton use for a language.
Undercommon Triton?
Yeah. Yes, actually, that is a great analogy for that.
Just the specific dialect, guys.
Well, yeah, Portugal and Brazil, completely different. They both speak Portuguese. So, all right. So anyway, what's the plan, guys? Who has not been doing anything? So obviously we have Zaxa and Emmy are working on this priestess. Minerva, you took a step back, and so did Diambra. Tita, you were checking out the wall, which obviously would take you a second. Modi was kind of looking around the waters and whatnot. Actually, let me make a roll for him. Okay. Yeah, I'll pop with him. I guess he kind of goes up and says,
I don't know. I took a surveyed the area. I don't really see anything, but it's dark under there. How about you, Tita? Did you find anything?
Just this like statue thing in the wall, but nothing else.
Well,
Can I go to the edge and like look if I see more shiny stuff in the area where I got that other? What the heck did I even get?
oh, so yeah, so what that looks like is it looks like kind of like a, you know what a torpedo looks like, obviously.
Yeah.
It's a tiny miniature version of that, but it has like the 3 hooks, like a fishing hook line with a, it's hard to explain. It's got like the 3 curved up hooks, and it looks like a torpedo on the end.
Okay.
Very small, like handheld, just, small enough for one hand. Going over to that edge, Tita, I believe that was to the southeast where that stairwell is.
Yeah, kind of look over here, I guess.
Yeah, all right. So yeah, make I would say with this one, because you're above the water trying to like look down in, give me a perception check.
Which is what? Plus 14.
14, yeah. I would say that at first you kind of looking from above the water, you don't really see anything, so you stick your head under and you keep looking. You don't see anything in this general vicinity, but kind of as you're kind of peering around, you see past the pillar and up more toward the north east, you can see a little bit of a glimmer in that direction.
I zoomed in too much, so I had to move.
Oh, it's yeah. When you come down into the water and stick your head under to look, you can kind of see something glimmering where the ping is over here.
Well, then I will head in that direction.
Absolutely. So you can make your way over there. Minerva, what are you doing now?
Yeah, I want to just like investigate the part of the wall where like I'm kind of at right now.
Sure.
Like, I wanna just, I don't know, like, look at any stone that seems like out of place or irregular or, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Make an investigation check.
It's not great. That's like a 9.
All right. A 9, yeah. You similar to Tita, you're running your hands across a stone. It just looks like naturally carved rough stone. There's some fauna kind of building up, and then in the same situation as Tita, but on the opposite side, you see another statue of one of those shark-like Sahagin heads.
Okay, all right, and that's like
It's like built into the wall. It's like it was chiseled or carved from the wall.
like I can't like move it.
Oh no, it's like 10 times your size and probably, a couple thousand pounds.
All right, cool.
If you were able to chisel it out of the wall, which I'm sure Tita could do.
Very true.
All right, so as you're doing that, we'll jump back to Emmy and Zoxa here. Is there anything else you wanted to try to communicate or get out of this this creature?
Yes, I have an idea.
Sure.
Ah.
Go back into my spell book. Aha. Oh, there's no vocal component for this. Of course. So I take a small bit of fleece and I just, I guess, unravel it in my hands and I cast minor illusion. And I would like to create an image of a little figure, a little bust, like such as one of the ones I would have seen in Madame Fairchild's house.
Mm-hmm.
And show it to her and then like look around.
Okay. As you do that, she looks at you. She looks over at Emmy to see if like she has permission to answer this question. Emmy, I'm sure you're gonna give it to her. She kind of like looks back over to Zoxa, and then she kind of nods as if she understands what you're looking for, and that yes, she does indeed know where it is.
Good, good.
She kind of like uses her head to point down at her wrists that are bound, as if she wants you to.
Emmy, would you like to
What?
undo our guest?
Certainly. Can I? What was the noise that she made when she said "friend"? Like whatever that was, I want to try and make it back at her.
Yeah, I wish I knew.
Whatever it is, I would like to back to her.
Yeah. Well, all right. So if I can't even remember it, and I'm the one who said it, I have a feeling that you're probably not going to remember it. Give me an intelligence check. Let's see.
You hurt me, sir.
Yeah, you try, and whatever you say looks to offend her. She's like, and then yeah, she just keeps like pointing to her wrists.
Okay. Well, I mean, to be fair, there are, so many of us and one of her. I guess maybe we could let her go.
I think we'll survive that.
Okay. All right.
As you do that, Emmy, she looks to you and she says, "Firak." And Zoxa, you understand that to be thank you.
She thanked you.
And she stands up and she kind of does one of these to like follow. And you see her begin to like kind of do her little hobbly walk over to the east, toward the eastern side of this rectangular platform. Kind of where Minerva is, but further over by the water, kind of where Tita's making his way at the moment. And as she makes her way, so I'm gonna grab her here and get her over here. Who's following?
Oh, I'm absolutely following.
All right, so Zoxa and Emmy are following. She gets over to the edge there and she kind of points down, and you can see it's murky, it's dark, but you can see some shapes under the water there. It doesn't seem like it's too deep in that spot, but yeah, there's some things in the water over there. It's hard to make out because, like I said, it's murky and it's dark. But
cool, I'll jump in.
All right. So Tita jumps in. Zoxa jumps in. Tita's already there.
Oh, I'm going.
All right.
Always.
This time it was because I was looking at Tita's thing because I was moving in.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so you guys jump in.
Jump in, and I'm just like.
Oh, Emmy's jumping in too.
Yeah, I'm gonna wave back to my friend and see if they want to come in too, in case they don't trust me.
She just looks and she doesn't seem like she's interested in jumping in the water at the moment. But if you want her to, she's charmed by you, so she'll do it.
I'm not gonna force it.
Okay, yeah, she kind of steps off to the side and kind of, she's almost like surveying, like she's watching you to see like what you're taking from down there. But yeah, so if the three of you would like to make an, actually, I have a list here. Where are you guys specifically looking?
Well, I'm gonna look where I am first before I even go towards them jumping in.
Okay.
Because you said I saw something over there, so I'll search like my area kind of between the two walls, like till I get to them.
In the two walls. All right, cool. So, Tita, give me. I'm just making sure I get the right thing here.
You got the right name this time.
I did. Yeah. All right. Tita, give me a perception check, please.
Nat 20. Ho, ho.
Ooh, all right. So as you're kind of wading through the water, looking around, you see tucked in one of those sea anemones, kind of off to the side.
Is it Nemo? I'm kidding.
There's a
Maybe
thin.
for the next bong.
There's a thin cylindrical case that seems to have like a little latch lock on it, made of, it's tough to tell in the murkiness, maybe wood, you're not sure.
Can I pick it up? Is it like, is it too heavy?
Yes,
or
absolutely. No, yeah, it's I would say it's probably about a foot and a half long, and maybe about this wide around.
Okay.
Yeah, you find that.
I will pick that up.
Absolutely. All right, so Tita and Emmy, in the spot that you both jump in, I will allow for one of you to make a perception check just to kind of peer, and then one of you to
Didn't
make
Tita already make his perception check? Isn't
Did I
it
say
Zox's turn?
did I say Tita? Yeah,
You did.
again.
Yeah,
Wow.
you
I don't
did.
All right.
I don't Zaxa and Emmy, if one of you would like to make a perception check and the other make an investigation check. So one person is kind of just surveying, while the other person is going under the water, kind of feeling through the muck, if you will.
No offense, but I think I should do the perception.
Oh, none taken, because I should definitely do the investigation.
Here we go.
Plus, Zaxa, you can.
That's literally my thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is like one of the only things that you can do.
Yeah. That is a 17 plus 6 for investigation.
17 plus 6. Oh my goodness, 23. Yeah, so investigation, as you are kind of pulling yourself along the ground, I guess the bank of this or the bottom of this area, pulling yourself through the weeds and whatnot, kind of rubbing your hand across the ground. You found two strings of sort. You kind of pull those up and shake off the muck, and you can see there's some type of shell necklaces.
Okay.
You find there is again, similar to that, as you're moving your hand through the muck and whatnot, you find a silver pendant locket as you kind of pull it up. It's one that has like a small clasp that can open. And make sure that was, oh no, you actually you got what, 23?
Yes, I did.
Wow. You also find a slew of gems. They just seemed like maybe at one point there was a crate or a box or a barrel of gems, and the wood rotted away and just kind of let them scatter about. But there are tons of gems all around, and I will say, if you take some time and go collect them, because of the number that you rolled, you get about 620 credits worth of gems.
Cool, cool. I will absolutely spend the time to collect every single gem.
Yeah, yeah. There's just to let you know, I don't know if this is useful for anyone's components, but I did want to note specifically that there is a diamond worth 50 credits in there. I don't think any of you can use that, but I know diamonds sometimes are used for components. So if any of
I
needs that.
believe that I can use that. I can
Emmy,
use that, and I will use that.
Emmy, what did you get for your perception check?
Yeah, I got a 13.
Okay. So yeah, you jump in the water, you start looking around. First thing you spot right off the bat, the bust of Idrifenia. It's part of the shoulder of it is kind of sunken into the muck, and it's kind of like off kilter a bit, just stuck in the bottom of the mud below. And as you kind of swim down to like kind of go lift that out, you notice right next to it that there is a chest that is locked. And there's also, as you are, oh, actually, this one was a Zoxa find. Zoxa, you also found a small vial of some type of perfume.
Oh.
Oh,
He's
well.
like,
But Emmy, so you found the bust as well as a chest that's locked. It's a decent sized chest. Like, think like a pirate's chest, like a pirate's treasure chest type situation. And yeah, that's what you all find.
I wanna do a little showboating. I wanna like get all excited about it.
Okay. Get all excited about it.
You guys over here, come on down. I think I found what we've been looking for.
I will swim over.
All right.
Since I'm
Pizza
already
makes its way.
basically there anyway.
You like go up to
Yep.
the surface and say that, or like underwater?
Yeah, Emmy, did you say it underwater?
It was like a half and half situation.
Okay.
Like I started to say it, and then I like just spurted water, and then kept talking. When
Commotion.
so it probably looks like I'm being thrashed about by a shark. People
I
would.
thought you had your helmet. I was just wondering if I heard you say that or not.
So Minerva, are you going over the edge as well?
Yeah, I just want to like kind of like nod to Diambra to like keep an eye on the priestess, and I'll jump in because I'm assuming that they'll need help bringing it up.
Yeah, Diambra will just kind of give you the nod, like, yeah, I gotcha. All right, so you jump in. The four of you are currently in the water. And Emmy, by all means, tell them what you found.
You have to, if you just go down, and there's a thing, and then the thing you were looking for with the thing.
The best.
At this point, I'm clearly whatever's left in my flask. I'm drinking in celebration because I know we found it, so it's over. So I'm gonna drink everything I have.
Yes.
Oh, she's doing that, she's just playing like Marco Polo. I'm gonna be like, Marco!
You hear from across the room, hello!
Who?
All right, well, I want to swim down, look at what she's talking about, so I'm gonna do that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
so yeah, the four of you kind of swim down. Modi stays on the platform with Diambra and kind of keeping an eye on the priestess. By the way, Emmy, how long does that special new charm thing you have last?
I was gonna say, by the way, I'd like to once my friends get around all the things, I'd like to go back up, and I'd like to put my hand on the priestess's shoulder and say thank you, just in common, like just thank you, and look her right in the eye.
She kind of, let me make sure she can. Yeah, she gets the gist. She might not know specifically what it means, but you putting your hand there and kind of giving her the nod while you say it, it seems like it's a friendly gesture. It's not like an aggressive one. So she'll kind of nod back to you. And that charm lasts only, what, a minute?
Yeah, it's not long.
Okay, yeah. So I'd say it's probably fading, if not hasn't already faded. So as you have your hand on her, you see that there's a realization that starts to form in her eyes that she was charmed, and you are all, to her, vicious creatures that invaded their home and then just slaughtered them all. So she immediately gets defensive and kind of recoils and like throws herself against the wall, like hands up at you, especially since you decked her in the face earlier too.
Aw, she remembered.
Dang it. All right, so there's nothing left in what I have of my alcohol, which would have been my olive branch, I guess.
Yeah. She doesn't seem to be taking any aggressive action. She just seems to be like kind of pushing herself in the corner, like, leave me alone.
I'm just going to put my hands up and just kind of step away.
What is everyone else doing? Oh, by the way, I will say, Emmy, as you're beginning to step away, you're kind of doing that backwards walk. You step on something, you kind of like look back real quick, and what you stepped on is some type of staff. There's like a long wooden staff, and it has like a bunch of seaweed kind of entwined around the tip of it.
I want to pick it up.
Yeah, you recognize this was in the priestess's hand when you went and like attacked her and got her in the chokehold, and she dropped it when you were wrestling her. So this is something that she had on her.
That's a shame.
Yeah. I would. Who fought?
She
Who's the
doesn't
one?
remember us being friends, so.
Oh, she remembers that you cast a spell on her to manipulate her mind, but yeah.
But I'm gonna hold on to it.
I did want to ask from the last session. I don't know if anyone remembers. Who was it that finished off that champion creature? Who was fighting that champion most of the time? Was that Minerva and Diambra? I think it was Diambra, right?
I
Yeah.
think
I think it was
Diambra,
Diambra.
it
All
was
right.
her fighting him, but I think she killed him.
All right. So yeah, I would say, where are you? Diambra is there. This priestess is like over here now. I just want to kind of figure out where everyone is. She's there. Diambra probably would have gotten a little closer. Yeah, all right. So that's right. That's right. Diambra would have been kind of following that creature as it is because Minerva told her to keep an eye. So as you kind of step on that staff and then pick it up, Diambra's like, oh, Emmy, that reminds me. When I was fighting that larger Saharan guy, he had an interesting sword, kind of shimmery, but it fell beneath the waves. And I don't want to go under there. So if you feel like grabbing it, then by all means. But I just thought I'd let you know.
Can I dive in with the staff?
If you want, sure.
Before she's even done talking, you know, I saw this sword. I think it fell between the waves, and where'd it go?
Yeah, so you can, if you want to dive in, you know roughly where the body died, so you can dive in over there. But it would be a perception check to see if you can locate this particular sword, Emmy.
Where was this body thing? Like way over here?
It was killed by Diambra. I'm gonna ping it. It's actually kind of close to where you are,
Okay.
kind of like over here.
Yeah, but isn't that where I picked up the shiny thing? That wasn't it.
Oh.
When I was like riding the shark thing, and then I was like, "Ooh, I saw something shiny." I went down, or that was the torpedo thing. You said?
That was the torpedo thing, which was slightly off to the side.
Okay.
Yeah, the shark's like over here, I think.
Yeah, the shark was here, the champion was here, and the torpedo thing was here. Regardless, Emmy, perception check.
20, not natural.
Ooh, yes. So you do see there is that you can see just a tiny bit of the blade kind of sticking out from the muck. It's kind of compressed underneath the body of this creature. So you can just barely make out a bit of the blade sticking out. So you'd have to kind of get under there, kind of like push him off of it, and then kind of, you know, pull it out from the muck if you would like.
Can
But
I
yeah,
push
it has,
him off with the staff that I'm holding currently?
gonna push him off the staff. Very good. All right, yeah, so you do that. You're able to grab this sword, and as you kind of pick it up, it has like the slightest shimmer of a sky blue color almost. Yep, you can bring that back up to the surface.
I'm doing it. This is not the type of item, neither of these things are things that I can hide at all. So I'm
No.
gonna guess that even a staff is probably taller than me.
Yeah, you're 5'3". This staff is probably about 6 feet. So
So I'm just
you're
gonna
just carrying 2 new items around. It's good stuff. So now that you guys have kind of searched around for items and whatnot, who took a short rest? Did anyone short rest? I think everyone was kind of doing stuff, right?
Whoops.
Yeah, okay, well, whatever. Yeah, so it's up to you. You still at the moment, all of the other life in this cave has been destroyed except for that one priestess, and she's just kind of cowering against the wall in the corner.
Have we the statue?
It's I would say that between you and Tita working on that under there, Zox is not going to be any help, but between the two of you, you can lift it up out of the water. It's pretty heavy. It's made of stone, so it's going to be fun to try to get out of here if you don't have some type of means to move it.
We'll figure it out.
So yeah, I would say we'll say this: that you've all gathered up the things that were under the water. That chest, if you'd like to pull that out as well, extremely heavy and waterlogged, but you can definitely get that out.
I don't really care for it.
No.
No.
Anyone care for the chest? We can leave it. I'm fine with
Yeah,
that.
what was in there? Well, we're not leaving stuff behind.
You don't know. You don't know what's in it because it's
Then we're
locked.
taking it. Emmy and I are taking it then.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I said,
I'm gonna
it's
trek over there with my staff and my sword, and I'm gonna get back in there.
yep.
Yeah.
Jump
Like
back down.
Country skiing.
Yeah, so you get under there, and Emmy, you're pretty strong. Give me a strength check.
Oh shit. I mean, wait, strength. We're going strength.
Yes.
Ooh, 19 plus 2, 21.
21. Yes, by yourself, no less. You grab one of the straps. As you grab the strap, it rips because it's so old and just been waterlogged. So you have to like kind of get your hands underneath the box itself and try to lift and then swim up. It takes you, a minute or so, but you're able to kind of like up on top of the
spinach, so it's okay.
All right. So, are you trying to open that now, or what do you want to do with it? It's like I said, very heavy. It's going to be difficult to carry this out of the cave with you.
I want to see what's in it.
Yeah, it's locked.
I'm gonna
So
carry the whole thing.
I can just come over with my pickaxe and just.
I was gonna say it's too bad Zin's not there. She's got lock picks. She can just pop that baby open. All right, yeah. So if you want to try to blast the lock off with your pickaxe, make an attack roll. We'll say with advantage because it's not
Because it's a
moving.
lock.
16.
Yeah, that's enough. It's a little rusty, and you're able to kind of bust the lock off. In doing so, you kind of bust a small hole in the side of the wooden chest, as it's all rotted wood at this point. And some coins spill out, some golden coins. And it's interesting because those of you who've lived on Isgard your whole life, you're familiar with credits. And even in a lot of other planets, they have different forms of payment. This is interesting. These are very, very old coins of some sort. So yeah, it's just you pop that thing open, Emmy, and it's just filled with gold coins.
As a self-proclaimed pirate, I can't help it. I'm just holding it up like it's a lost love.
Yes, yes. It's very, very exciting stuff. Just pouring the gold all over. Emmy, I would like for you, as you're doing that, though, to make actually, what's your passive investigation?
Passive investigations, 12.
Yeah, these, like I said, these coins, as you're kind of like throwing them all over yourself, they look ancient. And for coins like this in general, generally have an equivalent to 1 credit for one gold coin. These are so ancient, though, that these are probably worth double that. So maybe 2 gold per coin that's in here. And there's a lot of coins in here. So you're obviously gonna have to take some time and count it up, but there's a decent amount.
Well, I don't want to take all of it for me. I do have my new staff, and so unless it speaks to me and goes to someone else.
Well, I was gonna say at this point, I don't even know who would even use a sword. Maybe Minerva, right? That's pretty much it. So hey, maybe a new present for Minerva. Who knows? All right. So yeah, I think. Is there anything else you want to do? Tita, you have that small cylindrical box that has a lock on it.
I don't know if I want to. Is it heavy? Can I carry it out without opening it right now?
Yeah, it's only like I said, it's about 1.5 feet long, and it's not very wide. It's light. It's light too. It's not super heavy.
I'm gonna shake it. Does it sound like there's something in there, or it's empty?
Make a perception check.
It sounds very breakable.
20 not natural.
29 natural. Yeah. So it doesn't sound like anything metallic, anything hard, heavy. It sounds almost like a shifting paper inside.
I will look to Zaxa And then kind of give like just the eye, like you might find this of interest without saying anything. And then I will attempt to open it. You said it's locked, so.
Yeah, well, it has a latch.
Oh, it has a
You,
latch.
you haven't tried to open it yet.
I'll open it and then the tape would dump out whatever's inside.
All right, yeah, so you pop the little latch, pop it open. As you do, this green mist just around you.
Great.
You don't seem to have, from what you can tell, any effects at the moment, but yeah, just interesting green
Is it
cloud.
poison? Because I'm like resistant to poison.
Oh, it is not.
Oh, no.
But inside there is a scroll,
Okay.
just rolled up into a,
Okay. I'm gonna open it. Obviously, I'm gonna unroll
yeah. Inside there is
it. Do I read it
it's,
or do I have no idea what it says?
yeah, that's what I'm, yeah. You pop it open and you look at it, you're like, it's just all weird symbols and all kinds. You have no idea what this says. It looks like magic. From what Zoxa showed you from his spell book before, like what you've gleaned into the book, it looks very similar to that.
So when I made that motion about the eyes, Zoxa, did you start coming over, or do I now have to call you over?
Sure. I probably started heading over.
Okay.
That was an odd look. You don't usually look at me when you're holding things unless you want me to do something, so I might as well walk over.
Fantastic. So then, yeah, I will hold it up, obviously look at it, be kind of confused. If you're already over towards me, I'll just kind of maybe turn it in your direction or share the kind of angle.
Okay.
Yeah, Zoxa, you can take a quick peek at that. Go ahead, Tita, sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying, like, do you know what this is? Like, I'll just turn it kind of towards him.
Yeah. Zoxa, make an Arcana check if you'd like to look at it.
Oh, I will do that.
Because the symbols, it is definitely the magical symbols that you are learning. All
My
these
other favorite thing.
Yeah, these arcane symbols, but these are some that you have not come across yet. So you have to kind of decipher.
That's 13.
13. That is one less than what you needed. So you're trying to read it. You could probably do it. It just might take you a little bit of time because some of these symbols you have not deciphered yet. So you're not really sure what this scroll would entail. However, you are smart enough to know that if you don't put it back into that case, it's probably going to get ruined, taking it underwater.
Yes, that is a spell of some kind. I'm not sure what, but you want to keep it in its container so it does not get destroyed in the water.
Okay, well, I can't read it anyway, so you just want it.
Oh, all right.
Teacher's like, well, I don't know what this is. It's a piece of paper. I can't read it. Bye.
All right. So what is the plan? Is everyone good in this sanctum? Do you have any other things, any other unfinished business you would like to attend to?
We're just gonna call over to Emmy and say, count your gold quick, Emmy. We should probably leave in case any reinforcements show up.
I'm actually gonna, when she says that, I'm gonna look back and then I'm gonna look at the priestess and then I'm gonna feel bad and I'm just gonna take one handful and put it in my pocket and then go.
All right. So Emmy, I would like for you to roll for me. D100 percentile die, please.
Do you like?
I don't like this. 20%.
Okay. Just make a note.
That's
Okay.
Totally ominous and creepy.
Okay, cool.
I feel like before we leave, I'm gonna like kind of give Emmy the eyes about the case and like stick my little claw in and scoop out some coins because I don't. I gave my scroll away, so now I feel like I'm leaving with nothing. I have that little torpedo, but do I even know what it is? I don't know.
You don't at the moment, no, not unless you have Zoxa take a look at it. But anyway, I would like you to also do the same thing. Percentile die as you scoop up a handful.
24.
Wow. Okay. All right. Tita, as you go and you kind of like lean down to scoop out some of the coins. This has nothing to do with the coins, but you kind of get a whiff like under your armpit area, and you're like, you kind of like recoil for a second. It is probably the worst fish smell you have ever smelled in your entire life. And you're like, oh, what? And you go to the water, try to clean it off. It does not go away. And all of a sudden it's starting to like this almost like green gas is starting to like emanate from your carapace, and you just smell awful. Everyone else, you have to hold your nose, you can't even breathe. It's so bad if you're within 10 feet of Tita.
Oh, sorry guys.
So walk at the back when we leave.
Sure thing.
Well, we won't be able to smell it underwater, right?
I don't know.
No one stand down.
You guys have like
green mist.
I was gonna say, you have your water breathing helmets on, and you can still smell it. So this is a magical smell.
Great.
Magical stank.
Yep. So are you all planning on making your return journey now?
I do believe so.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Okay. So you gather up everything. Now you have a staff that might be difficult to swim with. Are you putting those gems in your bag of holding, Zaxa?
Oh, yes.
I'm assuming you're putting the scroll in there as well.
Yep. I mean, everything I have.
It goes in there, yeah. So the only thing that's really gonna be a detriment to you guys trying to swim out of here is the bust. It's extremely heavy, and it's going to be very difficult to swim out of this trench while carrying that.
Why? See Zoxa putting some of his stuff in the bag.
Yeah, he does it all the time.
Yeah, no, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And yet I feel like you've never taken anything out of it. So I'm just gonna like look at Zoxa and be like, how much stuff can you fit in that bag?
That's a good question. I don't know its capacity yet.
Question.
Can we try it? Can we try and hold up the bust?
No, put the bust in the bag.
I don't think it works that way.
Fair enough.
I will say that if someone would like to try to attempt to jam it into the bag, you're more than welcome to.
I mean, like, how wide does it open?
I don't want to break anybody's thing.
It's a normal bag, except it's just got a void inside of it, essentially, right?
I think it has what is it, a foot around, like a foot diameter, or the opening, or is it a couple feet?
Do I have it in here?
It would probably be under the item's description. I don't know what it says, but I will say if you'd like to try, because you know how a bust is, you get the head, but then the shoulders kind of go wide. So trying to like maneuver that into a small hole is going to be interesting.
I mean, like, how wide?
I don't think I want to do that, because I don't want to crush anything that's in there, because I don't fully understand how it works. 2 feet in diameter at the mouth and 4 feet deep.
Okay.
It can hold up to 500 pounds.
Yes. The weight.
Not exceeding a volume of 64 cubic feet. What is the volume of the statue? How dare you not know that?
I am not worried about that. I'm not worried about how much it weighs or how much space it takes up. I'm worried about how you can get it into that hole. Yeah, that's
Yeah, no. It's not going in the bag.
That's what she said. Sorry.
Zaxa, if you would like, because this is like geometrics and whatnot, if you'd like to make an intelligence check, I will see. You can attempt to put it in there as carefully as you can.
Why not?
Well, wait, no. If you don't want it in there, though, you don't have to put it in there.
Well, if there's a way to put it in there, we might as well put it in there. I rolled a 17 plus 3.
Okay. Yeah, so you looking at it, you're like, there's no way we can put the head in first. We're gonna have to start with one of the shoulders. And you
That's
kind
always
of
how it goes.
yeah, you kind of get the shoulder and you kind of have to like get the head to tuck on and then it slides right in. Looking at it, it looked like it was going to be difficult, but as soon as you started to work it, no problem. Slides right in.
Where did she get?
I look at, just stare into it for a while in amazement of just like. All right, well, looks like we're done here.
Where did you get that?
Came with the book.
Okay, all right.
Whatever.
And we're all okay with this. We're all right with that.
All right. So you all begin to make your way into the water and head out through the tunnel system that you came in originally and back out to the Sahag Trench proper. And as you do that, we're going to jump over to Zinesi because you poor thing have probably been waiting for so long to get to what's going on with you and Kubrick. So if I remember correctly, the last thing that happened was you and Kubrick made your way down the first ladder, fine. Yeah. But then the second ladder, you had some troubles. And you both kind of fell, taking a little bit of damage. But you have your chair now. I believe we left off with you getting up and heading over to the ship to rest or to hunker down, something along those lines, right? Yeah. All right. So as you and Kubrick are making your way to the gun 792, as you're about to start stepping onto the gangway, and you hear, hold on, I'll switch it up.
Go.
Wait. Do you wait? You could not wait. Oh, I got my little strappy flaps over here. There we go.
Freezes, but she doesn't turn around.
Yeah, he steps over to you, and he's like, Why did you think it was a good idea to blast into my father's house?
Well, looking back on it, it was not a good idea at the time.
It was not a good idea.
No, it was not. My bad. Sorry.
The only reason I haven't eliminated the two of you is because I know Minerva would never help me if I did. You're causing too much trouble.
Okay.
And Kubrick is like, he has his hand on the hilt of his blade, and he's like, well, I got nothing. I really don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, listen, if we'll stay out of your hair, you stay out of ours. Minerva should be back, I don't know, a couple days, and we'll deal with it then. And then one. That's good to know. Are the two of you going to be joining us on this excursion?
To find Nova team?
Yes.
I was thinking about talking to Minerva before I made any decisions about that.
If Minerva says yes, will you be coming?
I'm not sure. I mean,
it's a simple answer. Yes or no.
Listen, there are so many things that we are doing right now. So many different directions we need to go in all at the same time. I don't know my answer for you right now.
He whips around toward Kubrick. Are you going? And then Kubrick is like, well, seeing as I am the pilot of the ship, I would assume if we decide to help you that I'm most likely going. Yes. He's like, good. What do you need to be outfitted with? I'll have my father make you armor so that you don't just die. Well, That's, I appreciate that, but I've got armor. And he kind of clinks his armor. And one just kind of shakes his head and then looks back over to you, Zin. Do you need armor?
Yes. That'd be
You're an easy target. You're stuck in a chair. Of course you need armor.
no need to be so rude about it. I would appreciate it. Yes. Thank you.
Fine. And what'd you say, 2 days? Kubrick. It's best guesstimate. I think they've been gone for what, like 3, 4 at this point? I don't know.
Yeah. Then there's the whole business of they gotta come back and then they gotta finish their business, and so yeah.
Well, don't bother us. I'll make armor. What do you need? Do you need to move around quickly and easily, or do you want something heavy?
Me?
Yes.
Uh, let me look at her character sheet.
Oh, this mask is so hot.
I love it. I'm not
I
really
believe
sure.
you are proficient with, is it all armor?
Light and medium armor.
Light and medium, all right.
Something that I could move around in, not too heavy.
All right, you need maneuverability. Got it. And then Kubrick's like, oh, well, if you're going to be making me some armor, I could definitely use something that's maneuverable as well. I've got this this breastplate. He kind of like, toot, toot, toot. And one just like, and walks away. He's like, don't follow after. And he leaves. Oh,
I love performance art.
yeah, it's fantastic. Bouncing between hats. It's great. Good stuff.
Where's so
Great.
many?
So, all right. So we were unsuccessful, and now he's going to give us armor. That's an interesting turn of events.
Yeah. There is so much to wrap my head around right now.
Good God. And we got, what do we have? Well, we have like two and a half ships. He's got a ship. I don't even, if we even go, I don't know what we're going to be taking, if we're taking his ship, our ships. The Gith Yankee are no joke. And if they're working with the Gith Sarai, that's not good.
What is that group? Would she know what that group is?
Kubrick or you, Zin? Make a history check.
Oh boy. That is a 19.
Yeah, you are familiar with the Gith. They actually, the Gith Yankee, you met 2 of them on the asteroid when you picked up Emmy. Those were the farmers. But yeah, Gith Yankee, they are many, like probably 1,000 years ago or so, a group of creatures called the Mind Flayers or the Illithid. Enslaved the races of the Gith Yankee and Gith Sarai. And for many years, the 2 groups worked together to end that slavery. And then eventually they did. They were able to fend off the Mind Flayers. However, as time progressed, the 2 groups began to not see eye to eye in the way they ran their civilizations, the way they practiced magic, things like that. So as time progressed, the 2 groups began to, go at each other's throats, and it became all-out war. Since then, if you ever see a Gith Yankee with a Gith Sarai, if they're not fighting, there's something seriously wrong. So for them to be working together is a very interesting situation. They're a race of they have like this like a Dijon mustard colored skin. Their ears are kind of like an elf's, long and pointy. Generally like pockmarked, and to just kind of look a little gross for the most part. But they have very thick, wiry hair that generally sticks out in whatever direction it grows. But yeah, that's pretty much what you know about them. The Gith Yankee are more of like a martial group, whereas the Gith Sarai are more of a spiritual monk style group. But yeah, that's the basics.
And these are the people that captured her.
It's
No.
it according to number one's information, yes. That's what he believes. He fought them, so
Makes sense. I'm just trying to figure out like why would they take her? What are they like? I was on a ship with her. I know her. Why? I guess I didn't really know her if she was part of that.
With that history check, you would know that the Gith Yankee and the Gith Sarai, even though they were slaves at one time, you would think that a civilization that were enslaved would not become slavers. But many of the factions of the Gith Yankee have broken off to become pirating groups and whatnot to continue in the slave trade. So it's possible that they were trying to capture them as slaves. You don't know that for sure. Obviously, there could be a bigger purpose, but it seems as though that might be a possibility.
All right. I don't really know how to feel about any of this. Because I knew Nolga team and we weren't best friends, but we were friendly, and I don't want anything bad to happen to her, but I also didn't know that she was a part of whatever was going on here. So
Well, I got when I first met her, I met her a couple times on the Halo ship when I was getting prepped to take over the gun, and she seems nice. She was nice when I first met her, but the last time we met, she tried to kill us all. So I don't know if how I really feel about her at this point.
yeah. It'd be nice to have somebody that I could trust, since everybody else I know is dead or a traitor.
What about me?
Good for
You
you.
trust me?
Of course.
Oh, all right. Well, you said if only you could have someone to trust. I'm right here.
You know what I meant. Life has changed a lot for me.
No, I get it. I think for some more so than others, but it's definitely been a rough couple months. It's been some loss and whatnot, but we're making our way through as best we can, I guess.
Well, we can't do that.
And I don't did Minerva talk to you about Azazel?
I'm trying to remember. I don't think she did. I don't think so.
Yeah. She hasn't said much to me about it either, but I used to get not necessarily visions or dreams, but I could get kind of like premonitions from him on occasion, and I haven't had any in a long time. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with all that. I'd like to know. Maybe when Minerva gets back, I can ask her, but I don't know that she'll know much more than I do.
I wish I could let you know. I don't really have any connection with him.
All right. Well, I guess we're stuck in this ship. So what do we want to do in the meantime?
Well, I guess it depends on what our next step is, because if we're going to help him, he's making us armor. I'm trying to think of what else we can do to prep.
We can make sure if we're going up against Gith Yankee pirates, we were going to want to have some good firepower on our side. Hopefully it doesn't come to a battle, but if it does, I'd prefer to have big guns on our side.
I can take care of that.
That's good to hear. Good to hear. Yes, if you want to start working on that, I'll see if I can get the armory back up and running. There's some patchwork that needs to be done, but we can try at least.
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right. Do you want to make an intelligence check? See if you can come up with something, some type of cool gun.
Oh boy. Oh boy. That's 19 plus 1. That's a 20.
We've had a lot of 20s tonight, huh? Like just straight up 20. That's great. Yeah, so you start sketching out a possible new cannon for the ship. Now it's up to you. You could try to mount this cannon on the Modi's transport pod since it has no firepower. You could try to put it on the fighter pod, which has currently 2 smaller guns, or you could try to mount it to the main gunship, which currently also has 2 main cannons. So it's up to you. But you're definitely gonna need supplies. You're probably gonna need to make a run to the junkyard, see what you can find from there. You're gonna need a couple different types of toolkits as well that you're gonna want to have on hand for some, tinkerer's tools. And if you're gonna be building a cannon, you probably need some welding tools of some sort. So yeah, you're gonna need some supplies for that.
So, yeah, so maybe, I don't know, like, I've got these plans to make a new cannon. I think I'm gonna put it on a Modi ship, but I'm gonna need to get some stuff for it. If you wanna come?
Yeah, absolutely. Where are we going?
I need to pick up some tools, probably stop by the junkyard.
That's like my favorite place lately. I'm always over there. Yeah, let's yeah, you want to take Modi's pod, and so we have like that with us if you're gonna try to fix things to it.
Makes sense, yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, so he'll prep that for you guys to go, and you can start whizzing on over to the junkyard. I'm gonna take a quick break. So we'll be back in about 15 minutes. Enjoy the new break time bios, and yeah, back to continue this adventure. See you in a few.
All right, a lot's happened, but I don't want to talk about it more than I have to. Here's all I have to report. After accidentally releasing the entity from the center of the elemental chaos, my crew and I traveled to the planet Isgard to make some repairs on our ship. Isgard used to be my home before I lived on the Halo ship with the Spite team, a tactical team of 6 Asimar created by the angelic solar of knowledge, Azaziel. So setting foot on Isgard felt like a much-needed return at first. Of course, it wasn't too long before I ran into trouble. As some of my allies have surely been able to figure out by now, I have a memory issue, to put it lightly. On Isgard, I encountered someone who claimed to recognize me, and what were his words? "I'll kill you if I ever see you again?" Something like that. I had no idea who this person was, but he wore a mask very similar to mine, and he was very, very angry. Turns out he was called Number 1 and was the leader of an organization known as the Obsidian Order. I apparently used to serve this order, going by the designation Number 6. I'm glad I chose a better name for myself once I woke up. Anyway, despite Number 1 threatening to end my life should he see me again, I allowed myself to be captured by the Order with the intent of deceiving them and rescuing another one of my allies they had wrongfully captured. Little did I know that my own crew was mounting their own rescue mission for me. And I supposed it all worked out in the end. A ship with my own crew caught up to the ship I was on with the Obsidian Order just as we all came to the wreckage of a third ship. Unfortunately, it was one I recognized. The Halo ship with my former Spite team. It had been torn apart by a gargantuan earth elemental. A few of my teammates, well, I'm not sure if I even could have protected them if I was there. I did find one of my teammates alive and awake, though, Nolgatame. Apparently, she used to work for the Obsidian Order too, under the name Number 4. Violent, angry, a drunk for power, Number 1 was relentless in finding her. I got to Nolgatame first, but I still couldn't stop her from joining him. She was very important to him, and he was able to restore her memories. All that time I knew her on the Halo ship, I hadn't even known her memories were gone too. A fight ensued. Number 1 deemed me more a nuisance than an ally, and tried to make good on his word of killing me. Now, I may be the one who's not able to remember much, but clearly he forgot how much of a fight I can give. He ran away in the end. Teleported away, actually, with with Number 4 by his side. I have no idea where either of them are now. But I convinced one of Number 1's allies to abandon him and join me, and my crew killed the rest of his order in their endeavor to rescue me. So, if I do cross paths with number 1 again, well, I just hope it's not soon. But anyway, 1 and 4 retreated, my crew had found me, and the Halo ship was in pieces. Olve was dead. Onlum was dead. Zinesi was close to being dead when I found her, but we managed to get her to safety. I thought that Modi was dead for quite a while too, but turns out he wasn't on the Halo when it got attacked. He was able to regroup with all of us on Isgard, and I have to admit that having him and Zin around has been a light in a dark void. But, everything else is so dark. Plonk is no longer with our crew. She's not dead, but the entity that emerged from the elemental chaos came for her. Tita and I tried to stop it, but whatever that thing is, it's a kind of power I can't contend with. Yet. I can only hope that Plonk is okay wherever in the galaxy she is. Her departure weighs on me. I can't help but feel like I often fail to protect people important to me, or, at the very least, people I'm charged with. Some leader I am. I can't imagine what in the hell Azaziel was thinking when he made me the captain of my own crew. And speaking of, Azaziel seems to have gotten himself into some trouble as well, if the gruesome vision of him in my dream held any truth anyway. But I don't know how to feel, because now I have reason to believe that he took my memories. That is all I have to report.
First entry off Verdalk. My life was saved today. I was teleported out of a poisonous coffin onto a ship. The ship works off the elves' magic, but it's also technologically superior to anything on Verdalk. I found a book at the excavation site, as well as an interesting bag. I believe they are both magical. More research is needed. I'm to go with these new humanoids I've never seen before. We're supposed to stop something from happening? For once, I don't know what's going on. Entry 2. The others I've been traveling with are, well, useful in their own ways. 2 fighting types and a small thief. Good for protection, I suppose. I have discovered that the book I found is a spell book. The text is difficult to decipher, but I've been fairly successful. Entry 3. We failed. The elemental chaos we were sent to protect was destroyed, and an entity of energy burst forth from it. I am unsure of what this means, but I saw the impossible depths begin to freeze over. I fear the worst. Entry 6. We've made it to Isgard. We need to get a job, to get credits, to get our ship fixed. Such things are beneath me. There are Tritons here. They might be able to tell me about the state of Vidalk. I must travel to Muspelheim, a city.
Alright, a lot
They're dealing with the fools. We know where they are, and we know how to hit them. I'm starting to enjoy these frivolous battles. Entry 15. We are returning to Isgard, having successfully retrieved Minerva, as well as gaining a few new allies. Captain Strang, Zinesi, and another Vidalkin, Vunisa. At this point I've taken a life, but I've also saved Kubrick. Perhaps I should leave the heroics to the fighters. Entry 20. Now Plonk has been taken by the same entity that we released. This group's failures are outweighing the successes. I can no longer trust Minerva or Tita to protect me. I must learn more from my book. The progress is slow, but it seems more reliable.
So, what am I supposed to be doing again? Oh, right. Updating you about what I've been up to or whatever? Honestly, Green, a lot's been going on. I mean, I know I told you about my family already, and how I have my great-granddad T-Sip's pickaxe with me, cause I used to be an excavator back on Pandemonium. Yeah, I say used to, cause I don't know if I'll ever do that again. Been zipping around, actually, I don't even know where with this crew. Speaking of the group, they're fine, I guess. Not sure what I'm gonna do now, though, that Plonk is gone. She was my sidekick, you know? Used to carry her around everywhere with me. I mean, she was actually pretty frail and small. We got into so much trouble. Like that time we were messing around in the escape pod and then actually detached from the ship. Totally wild. Good thing I played that stellar video game so much, cause I feel like it kinda trained me how to fly that thing. Another thing that's far out is this totally hot girl I met. And by hot, I mean she was literally made of fire. So frail and sexy, Green. Totally burned me though. We messed around a few times and then she just took off on a stolen ship. Guess that's why her name's Bernadette. So, I know you know I love smoking moss and making bongs. Damn, come to think of it, I've broken 2 already since I've been here, Green. Lost Genevieve early. Rest in peace, Jenny. And Riz, oh, so stellar. Rizzoli, our time was cut so short, girl. Too short. Speaking of moss, I almost forgot. I got a little daring and bought this, other stuff. A spray. Totally crazier trip, Green. We were out at this nightclub. Got this totally stellar vest to wear. I look fresh as Frel in it. Wait, what was I talking about? Anyway, who knows? We're gonna get caught up in something next. Whatever that is. I think we're going to Zox's planet soon. He's pretty sure it's frozen over. Dread like that is happening everywhere, Green. I heard some planetary news report that Pandemonium is under siege. Thrice and Floors fighting over surface territories? Sounds crazy to me, Green.
Hey there, my name's Zinesi, Zin for short if that's what you prefer. I'm what you might call an inventor of sorts. My vast knowledge surrounding magical technology allows me to design and create new items that can help make everyone's lives a little easier. One of my more known devices is the Universal Winged Utilizer. Perhaps you heard of it. Anyway, I'm from a smithing guild in Brightwater, namely the Marketplace Eternal. I'm not much for the whole buying and selling of things, so my purpose was mostly just to make what was being sold. I also enjoyed sneaking into the back rooms of shops and observing what others were making. When I wasn't doing that, I was busy making inventions of my own. I think one of my favorites is definitely the gravity neutralizer. I've been inventing for as long as I can remember. Countless hours at the library poring over books about alchemy, welding, circuits, enchantments, anything I could get my hands on. When I wasn't in the library, I was sitting at my pa's workbench and tinkering with my new inventions and tweaking blueprints. I still remember my first invention. Long hours of editing and finalizing blueprints, testing prototypes, and eventually fixing prototypes. So thrilling. I guess that's what got Guild interested in me to start. Been working for them for a little while now. And my spike team was pretty solid. Now, after what happened with the Halo ship and all the loss that came with it, things have been turned upside down for me. I've joined Minerva and her crew for a bit, and Kubrick's been helping me keep my mind busy. With everything as confusing as it is, I only wish that I was able to think the way I could before all this happened. Maybe then I'd be able to wrap my head around it a bit better.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it is with great humility that I come to you to beg forgiveness for the wake of damage that
Miss Strang, I'm simply interviewing you.
What's that now?
This isn't the court, which, by the way, you are doing next week. So, Captain Strang, tell me how you got where you are currently.
Oh, that business. Well, that's a horse of a different color. Let's see now, where to begin? Oh, yes. What am I doing here with these folks? Well, I can't help but be attracted to the miasma of chaos, which is why this current band of jolly travel buddies piqued my interest. I suppose I just gravitate to the crazy, so to speak. Ever since I was a young lady, I had a thirst for entertainment, seeing it, being it. which certainly kept things interesting. My mother loved my imagination, my charisma. May she rest in peace, that darling, loving soul. My father, on the other hand, well, let's just say that he didn't share my love for the theater. Young ladies are not meant to be heard, Em. They're meant to be admired. Gross. Being preened to fit into high society was a real awakening. My father looked so proud every time I would perform like the young debutante he expected. Yet I found the whole dog and pony show to be tired and antiquated. So I went to college, expanded my horizons, met my match, my aquatic equal. Classic story, really. We meet, we fall in love, we make grand plans together, and alas, duty and status destroy your hopes and dreams. She was the very beginning and end of my taking anything seriously. But I digress. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger and all that garbage. My father gifted me a ship when I was of age, and I set out for the great unknown. I grew up, grew out, and lost my way. As my reputation precedes me, I tend to be known as one who indulges in liquid courage as a means to an evening's end. If I can't be truly happy, then why not forget the whole day entirely? Nobody wants to get close to the drunk clown. It gets dark sometimes, lonely. And then, lo and behold, I happen upon these creatures, thrown together by circumstance, bound by honor to protect one another. I admire their connection. I crave it. So to be concise, I find myself following these folks like a shadow because, well, I like them. It is a great benefit of life to be able to choose a family. Can only hope I don't drop a turd in the punch bowl.
And welcome back. All right, so we just left off with Zinesi and Kubrick about to head out in Modi's transport pod to the junkyard to go pick up some supplies necessary to construct a new cannon for the ship. So Zinesi, we're going to go take care of this junkyard, and then we're going to pop over to everyone else leaving the temple. So it's be an interesting situation. So you're currently with Kubrick. Are you piloting, or is he piloting, since you are both pilots?
Take a turn. I did it last time.
All right, yeah, no problem. I haven't used this one much, so it'd be pretty fun. He gets in there and starts, getting it turned on and all the connections and lifts off. You guys start to fly over to the junkyard. As you get there, you land in there's a couple areas that are fairly open for merchants and other ships to stop into the junkyard. So with a smaller vehicle, and yours ends up landing there, a nice smooth landing because Kubrick's a fantastic pilot. It's the only thing he's good at. And you can make your way over to the yard foreman if you'd like.
Sure would like to.
Yeah. Kubrick will kind of follow behind as you utilize your dope rolling wheelchair to get yourself there. And he'll kind of follow behind. He's going to let you kind of take point on this. But you see there's and it's odd because as an ASMR, you know that generally ASMR are chiseled from like you're like the epitome of a humanoid. Like everything is generally perfect on an ASMR. However, this gentleman, as you approach him, he just looks like he hasn't taken care of himself one day in his entire life. He's just, obese. Again, for an ASMR, you never see that. It's crazy. Obese. He's got it doesn't look like he's showered in a while. He's got all like greasy hair. His beard's all greasy. His eyes are like a solid black with like a slight like green tinge to them. And he's like, come to visit my junkyard. See? What you need today?
Well, you see, I'm assuming she has like a list of the parts she needs or like the blueprint she was doing.
Is that how Zin is, or are you kind of the person that you're like, oh, I need something like this, and then go search for it and try to design something to work for what you need? How does Zin work?
I think she likes to work with what she has. So, you know, she'll find something that she thinks is interesting. So I think it's more of like a browsing thing that she's gonna.
Okay. So yeah, you can chat with them.
Yeah. I need to do some window shopping, I think.
Very well. If there's anything in particular that you're looking for, you can just let me know.
Thank you kindly.
You see him turn, and as he turns, he knocks a couple pieces of metal off one of the tables behind him. His gut just kind of slams into it and jiggles them off onto the ground. Starts picking them up, and yeah, and you're free to traverse and explore.
Oh boy.
Yeah, is there anything in particular you're looking for this cannon? What are you trying to have this cannon do?
I mean, I want to make it like it needs to pack a punch. So something like, I'm not sure if I want to go like an elemental route or if just like kind of like a force thing.
Okay. So we got some force energy. Yep. If you go the elemental route, you could have like a flamethrower type situation, which I don't necessarily know how effective that'll be in space, but it might be. You could have like a lightning cannon as well that could fire out lightning. You could make it so that it could try to like stun a ship, essentially, like shut it down for a few seconds. You could do something along those lines.
Would be on that one.
Oh, okay. So yeah, there's some coils that you're going to need for this, and you're obviously going to need the outer structure for the cannon. So you're going to need to find some type of metal that you can weld together, maybe sheets that you can bend to form this circular portion of the cannon. Again, you're going to need some kind of coils and something that will conduct the electricity, and something that's also going to allow it to fire out in a straight line. You're going to need something that's going to be able to kind of guide it. So you got a bunch of different things to look for. So if you would like to start making some perception checks, and Kubrick is going to assist you, so you get advantage.
Oh, good. All right. So should I say what I'm looking for with each one?
Yes, because Kubrick has no idea. You will not get advantage unless Kubrick has an understanding of what he's looking for.
Right. So,
and even then, probably not.
Yeah.
What a man. All right, so I'm going to need to find some metal, definitely, to kind of give it a shape.
Well, this place is filled with metal. Anything in particular, or just kind of scraps, flat sheets, bars?
Flat sheets, probably, just to...
Flat sheets. All right. Yeah. So he heads off in another direction. The two of you start looking around. Make a perception check, I think you already rolled, right?
I did, yes. So that was with advantage a 21.
21, yes. So easily, this, like I mentioned, there's scrap metal everywhere. So it really just depends if you can find sheets the size you're looking for that are fully intact. And with a 21, absolutely you can do that. So you're able to kind of, it might take you a few minutes because in the chair you have to kind of try to pull these large sheets off of the piles and whatnot, but you're able to kind of make, you could probably even attach them to the back of your chair and kind of roll around with them if you wanted to. So yeah, you can be rolling around with that, and yeah, the next thing is probably going to need some coils. Kubrick is currently somewhere in the junkyard looking for sheets of metal.
All right. Kubrick, I got some. We're good on that front.
I don't think he has an earpiece.
All right, cool. Well, I'm just gonna.
He's just roaming. I would say probably like 45 minutes to an hour later, he comes back and he's carrying a few pieces of scrap metal. Like he's got some stuff that could be used for what you were looking for.
All right, yeah, cool. here I am with all my stuff strapped to my chair. Yeah, that'll do nicely. Thank you.
Oh, good, good. What else do we need?
Well, I'm gonna need some coils to conduct what I'm looking for. So,
All right. So when you say coils, are we talking like kind of like a cone shape or more of like circular, or are we trying to find some wire and make our own coils? Like, what do we?
that's a good question. Ooh, maybe a mix of like just like regular coils, but also like some wire that I could shape myself.
Sure. Yeah. I can definitely help find that. So he's like, any particular amount of time you want me gone? Like I can be gone for 10 minutes, come back, or an hour, come back if I don't find it. Like, what do you?
I think 10 minutes could be good.
All right, yeah. All right, cool. So that was a decent explanation as to what you're looking for. So you will have advantage on the roll for this search. Go for it. Go for it.
That's a nat 20.
Now, not thinking about it until now, and to be that stickler, because I'm usually nice to you guys. You have what, 2 levels of exhaustion?
Yes, I do.
Which means on any given skill check, you would have normally disadvantage. So with Kubrick's advantage, would just even it out to a single roll. So if you'd like to re-roll as a single roll, I'd appreciate that.
Got it. Aha. That was a 6 + 2.
It's not a problem. You do end up finding the materials necessary to design a coil, but it takes the majority of the rest of the evening to do so. Kubrick does come back. He's got maybe 3 feet, and then you have a few feet that you think that you might be able to meld together to try to form a larger coil. So you do have the second set of materials, but at this point it's getting pretty late and it's pretty dark. So it might be hard to find things at this point. I don't mind. I can cast light. I can try to keep looking, but if you want, maybe we can just start working on this stuff and pay the man today. Come back tomorrow or something. Who knows how long the others are going to be gone? We could be working on this for a week.
That is true. All right, well, I don't know. I'm ready to call it a night if you are.
Yeah, sure. Hopefully you have some credits because I'm fresh out.
How much was on that card that Minerva picked up for me?
That was your life saving. So you'd probably have like, we had it written down. I think it was something around 16 or 1700 credits. So
I feel like I definitely did not update that on my character sheet.
yeah, I'll go back through my notes, see if I can find it, and then you can also check yours, and we'll go back. It might not be that high. It could just be, crazy, but yeah. Oh, I would say for the scrap metal and what you're getting, absolutely. If you head back to the foreman, he I don't know, probably like you got a couple sheets, probably say like 36 credits for what you got, some coiled wire and whatnot. Yeah, and then you and Cooper can head back to the base. Now Kubrick is going to ask, so he'll fly, but he's also going to kind of look back. He's like, hey, so do we want to stay on one of the ships like one set, or do we want to try to not listen to him?
I mean, I feel like we're in enough trouble as it is, but
I don't really want to get squashed by his father, so I don't know if I want to go back up there, but it's up to you. I don't mind sleeping in the ship. This is like my second home anyway.
That is true. It's very tempting, but I think I need another night's rest before I have any more action.
Yeah, no, I'm totally cool with that. I could use a good sleep.
Sounds good to me.
All right, so the two of you bed down on the gun 792. Okay. Yeah, we'll jump back to the rest of the group, who is currently just exiting the inner sanctum through the tunnels and heading back out to the Sahag Trench. And you kind of come out into this dark, open, cavernous area that you know just leads straight up for miles. What would you like to do?
Swim straight up for miles.
Yeah. I say we get out of this trench, put a little distance between us and it, and then sleep. We've been
Yeah. As you are all exiting the mouth of the cave that you originally had gone into, you can see the Triton, no, sorry, not the Triton, the merfolk woman just kind of, she doesn't have knees, so she's not kneeling, but she's like kind of like laying against the cavern wall, just like holding her dead husband's head against her chest, just kind of rocking back and forth a little bit. You can see that she's kind of sobbing and whatnot, but she's just kind of over there. If you wanted to do anything, Minerva, you would notice that immediately as you leave the cave with your passive perception. And then I'm sure everyone else would kind of notice as you go.
I guess like I'll go like a little bit in her direction, but I won't get like too close to her.
She, as you start to make your way kind of over-ish, you see her head kind of peek up, kind of look at you, and then just kind of go right back down to her husband.
I'm sorry for your loss, but you should probably get out of here. It's not safe.
I can't just leave his body here.
Wow.
And yeah, you can, obviously you're underwater, so it's difficult to tell, but you can see that she's been crying. Her eyes are very like bloodshot and whatnot. Obviously you can't see tears because the entire water around her is the tears, but yeah.
Do you think he'd want you to stay here for longer than you have to?
Well, I suppose not, but I can't just leave him here.
Can I just help her? Like, can I hear any of this?
How far would you all say that you are away? She was kind of right on the, like right at the mouth, pretty much off to the side. So I would assume if you're all coming out, you would kind of, yeah, you wouldn't be too far.
Like, I'll volunteer to help her carry him up if she wants to.
Yeah, if you want to come up to her and and tell her that, yeah, sure, by all means. It's just kind of.
I mean, we did kind of just let him die. Not that he was our responsibility, but.
All right, so you said you're gonna go talk to her?
Yeah.
Yeah, she kind of, as you approach, she kind of like brings her head up as well and looks at you.
We can both bring him up.
You'd help me? Thank you. And she gets out of her like seated position almost.
My decision.
She kind of like gently like, moves his body off of her lap, and she kind of gets up. And she's like, I don't know the best way. Maybe we each hold an arm. I don't know. Any suggestions?
I mean, I guess like the arm in arm. I'll
Yeah.
take an arm. She takes an arm.
All right. So you begin to do that. As everyone else just kind of prepping for the ascent. Okay. So you all begin to make your way up. Diambra is very, very, very slow, trying to swim up. As strong as she is, her armor is extremely heavy, and it is weighing her down. And she. What?
Is she downstream of Tita, who smells like Dren?
Absolutely. Tita's really fast, so Tita's just.
That's
Tita,
it.
what's your normal speed now? Is it 55?
55, yeah.
Tita can almost go double what everyone else can in one movement. It's crazy. Anyway, so Tita is quickly moving, yes, and the stank is emanating out, and you're all kind of smelling it as you move. Emmy, it is slow going for you as well, because even with Corlena's help, Algae isn't a small merfolk, and you only have one arm and your legs to try to swim with, so it is slow going. You're kind of in the same boat as Diambra. You're pretty far behind. But Zox, I believe, I guess with your strength, you're not doing too hot either, but it's.
I wasn't sure what you were going to try and say that I was doing.
Yeah, no. Minerva, it's essentially you and I guess Modi and Tita who aren't having too much of an issue. Everyone else is kind of, lagging behind.
Is it still like pitch dark? Like,
Yes.
okay.
So yeah, it's hard. Like you can make out shapes, like black and white shapes of your allies, but it's difficult to even see them, especially if they get too far away from you.
Can I assume that Zox is like blind as a bat right now?
You should absolutely assume that, yes.
All right.
Zox, are you doing anything about that? Or is
I don't
Minerva
have any
doing
spell
anything about
slots. I can't.
I was gonna say, this is a little convenient because I actually wanted to have a conversation with Zoxa.
Ah, okay.
I'm gonna. Is there like are we moving along like the? I don't know. I guess I'm just trying to.
You're swimming straight up.
Okay,
I would say at the moment, Tita's the fastest, so he's probably the furthest ahead, kind of
Right.
scouting it out. Then you and Zoxa are, I would say, next in line because you're not carrying anything. You don't have crazy heavy armor, nothing like that. And then after that, you probably have everyone else kind of taking up the rear. Well, Modi's probably with like around the same pace as you and Zoxa, but everyone else is kind of behind.
All right. So are we like close enough to the wall of the trench where I could just like reach out and like break a chunk off and cast the light cantrip on it?
I will leave that up to you. Are you ascending in the center of the trench or at the edge? So that's really up to you.
I
Of
was
course, either decision could have crazy repercussions. So
I don't like that. I mean, like,
well, what do you think you'd do more tactically? Would you go, straight up, or would you go? Well, obviously it's straight up either way, but like straight through the center, or would you try to go up against the edge?
I feel like she would want to like be close to the edge. That way, when they get to the top, they're just there and they can just like keep going forward. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so if you head up kind of close to the wall of the trench as you're going up, you can easily grab off a small piece, find a loose bit of sediment, whatever it may be, a small stone to cast light on.
Yeah. So I'll just put the little blue light on it and I'll just pass it on over to Zoxa. I'm going to say, what you did with the shark was so stupid. But it was so stupid that it was actually genius.
I'll take the light rock and I'll just nod.
But I just think you should keep in mind that there might be a moment where I tell all of you to run and you run.
And why wouldn't you be running with us?
I mean, if it's a moment like that, I would be trying to buy you time or already dead, so.
He's just gonna shake his head and then start swimming up.
Okay. Minerva, are you keeping up with him? Do you want to pursue and continue talking, or?
I don't think I have much left to say. I said what I wanted to say, and if he doesn't want to respond, that is on him.
You made your peace. All right. Very good. So in the ascending order, Tita, you're whipping up there. Just, quick. Tita, what is your passive perception?
12.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you're just continuing up. Zoc, so you kind of make some strides to move further away from Minerva. She's kind of like taking a step back to let you go
I mean,
on
I'm
your own
not
way.
avoiding her.
The silent treatment.
No, so as you're swimming up, it seems as though, Zoxa, that Tita was noticed by a creature dwelling within the walls of the trench.
Did he only notice me because I smell so bad, or was it because I was swimming so swiftly?
The reason was because you were swimming so swiftly, there was this small current of water that went with you. However, the smell did emanate into his little hidey hole.
Awake of my stench. Awake.
You smell like fish, so this thing was very excited. And as you whisk by, the next person coming by this area, unfortunately, is Zoxa. So Zoxa, I need as you are swimming up.
Tell me to make a deck save. Go ahead. Tell me that with a straight face.
The last possible second, you just see jaws shoot out of this hole in the side of the cavern and try to just encapsulate your torso. Dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh wow! How did I know? Yeah. So that's a 12 minus 1.
Yeah. So this thing, as you're swimming up, you're facing the wall as you're kind of swimming, I don't know, doggy paddle, however you're swimming upward. And you kind of, at the last second, you kind of look down and notice this thing as it's going out. And you try to push away, but you just your robes and your lab coat just get in the way and kind of tangle around your leg as you try to do so. And this thing just chomps right into your torso. That will be 4 points of piercing damage. And it tries to retract back into its hole and pull you with it, which the way you are, your torso kind of slams into the hole and it's beginning to just bend you the wrong way. Like you're bending backwards, but splitting you in half at the moment as it's trying to yank you into this cave.
Love it.
What's everyone else doing? Oh, actually, Zoxa, what do you do? I should say.
What do I do?
Yeah. You have no spells either.
I do. Oh yes, I do. And I just got a shiny new diamond.
Ooh, oh. Oh, yeah.
One spell slot left, and I've been saving it.
Leveling up. Yes, you do.
And I am going to use. Where is it? Oh God, and I have to pronounce it too. Okay, so it's gonna be Litzklin Knotter.
Oh, all right. Yeah, so as you
and I will let's see. We're underwater. I'm gonna assume that lightning is probably a bad idea. So I'm gonna hit it with cold damage.
Okay.
And that would be, let's see. He's got I have to roll to hit. Oh my God.
You have to roll to hit.
Ooh, that is a 15 plus 6.
15 plus 6, 21 absolutely hits. So it's one of those situations like you can't currently see in to where this thing is. You can feel its jaws. It's got like an elongated skinny jaw, kind of like a caiman, like a small crocodile, like the long lower jaw. On both sides, and its snout protrudes past your torso because it's longer than your torso is. So it's kind of like you're fully engulfed. And as you're being pulled, you can't see into the hole, but you kind of get your hand in there a little bit, and you spin the diamond in your hand, and you focus on cold, and it fires out and blasts and kind of streaks down the side of this long, like snake-like sea serpent. What was the damage?
Let me tell you.
I'm excited to hear.
28.
Okay. Yeah, you this thing, and it kind of retracts. You see its jaw kind of just it tries to pull you. It tries one more time to yank you in. So I need a strength save. But as it's
Of
trying
course
to
you
yank,
do. Wow. Okay, 16 minus 1.
Okay, that's enough to hang in. You just use everything you have left in you to not allow your body to fold. You hold yourself taut, and as this cold energy streaks across it, it looks almost that you see its eyes kind of like wince, as almost it has a brain freeze, and its jaw just kind of clamps, like lets go for a split second. And in just that split second, you try to get yourself out of there. As Minerva is kind of like swimming by as well, doesn't even notice. Yeah, it just kind of back into the hole as that happens. Yeah. Yeah. No one even, I don't think anyone even knew that happened to you, unless you made lots of noise.
I mean, there may have been some screaming and some loud spells that went off, but it's fine. It's fine.
True. Yeah, so I would assume there would also probably been a slight glow from the spell that you cast too.
And the fact that I yelled whatever the hell I tried to pronounce earlier.
So I would say anyone who's kind of close by, probably not Tita, you're probably way too far ahead, but Minerva and Modi probably heard the commotion. It's Zoxa and this weird serpent.
You good up there?
I'm fine.
Anything we should know about?
Not anymore.
All right.
Watch out for the walls. Sometimes they have teeth.
Got it. Minerva's gonna just like pass the message like back in line.
All right, are you using the little ear things that you guys have?
Yeah.
The earpieces? Yeah, it's just let like
Probably.
Yeah, everyone know. So everyone keeps their distance from the wall a little bit, not too far, but just, away so they're not chomped on. Perfect. And eventually you make your way. It takes you some serious time. And I would say that Emmy and Corlena and Diambra need to make constitution saves to see if they can handle this long-term heavy movement.
20, not natural.
20, not natural. Very nice. Corlena seems to be slowing a bit, but she's not holding you back too much. You can see, this is her terrain. This is what she's used to. And though she's not very strong physically, she is very capable under the water. So she doesn't slow you down, but she definitely doesn't help pick up the speed. Diambra, on the other hand, she is now, and Emmy, you're really the only one who can see this because you're kind of far behind, but she is lagging way. She's probably like 150, 200 feet behind you, and she's not able to really keep up.
150, 200 feet behind me?
150 to 200 feet. Yeah, it's tough to tell. You can't even see her. It's pitch black. You can't. Yeah, you don't know where she is.
I only got 60 feet on that.
Yeah.
I can't see her. Can I try and tell anybody that we're losing her?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can message anyone else who has one of the little earpieces.
All right. Excuse me, friends. I do believe we're losing a friend. Diambra seems to be struggling. What with the weight that she's carrying and all.
I'll go find her.
All right. So
I would encourage her to shed some clothing, but I can't see her.
I'll find her. I'll find a way to help her out.
All right. So Minerva doubles back. Emmy continues on. And Tita, eventually, you make your way up where it's still dim light, but by all means, but you can start to see the golden glow of the sun And it helps your vision a bit. And you make it to the edge, the top edge of the trench, and you can kind of like pull yourself onto the edge and take a breather. And like I mentioned, there's a bit of dim light, but everyone's pretty far behind you, so you're just kind of up there. Is there anything that you would like to do? There's a vast trench, a vast chasm ahead of you.
How far does it look like it goes? Like
in either direction. You guys, I think you kind of tackled the temple from almost the center of the trench, so it goes on for miles and miles in both directions.
How much time do I think I have before somebody else comes up out of the thing?
Well, about an hour ago, you heard Zoxa screaming. And then since then, you haven't heard much sound from down below. So you're not 100% sure, but
did I hear, do I have a thing? Did I hear that Minerva's swimming away?
Yes, yeah, you're not more than 5 miles. Yeah, you know that everyone's okay, and that Minerva's doubled back to help Diambra and one. You know what's going on. You just have no idea where specifically they are. So
I will potentially venture a little bit.
Okay, sure. There's a kind of off in the distance, maybe 300-400 feet away, to the south, there are some larger, what are they called? Not mountains, but like just rock structures, I guess, like outcroppings, if you will. And then, yeah, you can see where the trench kind of breaks and makes smaller trenches that kind of branch off of it around. There's definitely seaweed and lots of fauna all around as well. You can see schools of fish swimming around.
I will walk towards the rock structure thing that I can see.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, it takes you like a minute or two to go that full. Well, actually, you're pretty fast even underwater. It probably doesn't take you very long at all. You get over there, and yeah, you start poking your head around, kind of moving through the different sections of the rock that protrude. Give me a perception check.
Nine.
As you're kind of walking through, and it's almost like, I wouldn't say necessarily a maze, but the rocks kind of pop up in all different directions, so you kind of have to maneuver around them as you're going, and you definitely don't get lost. No, you don't. I wouldn't say you get lost, but you definitely, as you're moving through, you find small bits of driftwood that just kind of like are floating in the areas that you are, but that's about it. They seem, and normally
look like,
yeah, make let's see, just make it a straight intelligence check.
14.
14, okay. Taking a look at this wood, yes, it is extremely waterlogged, and it looks like it's it's taken a beating, whether it's just hitting rocks and whatever else. But you can tell that this particular wood, it's not like it's just part of a tree trunk. It looks like this has been hewn to become maybe a plank or a board of some sort, and it looks as though you're like finding little bits of boards around.
Okay. I will continue, I guess.
Yeah, so you just keep moving through there.
Just search and look and touch and whatever, pick stuff up out of whatever.
Yeah. As you're moving through, you find like more little bits here and there. At one point, you see something shiny kind of sticking out of the sand. Pick it up and kind of clean it off.
I'm gonna go look at that.
Yeah. No, I figured. Yeah, it's nothing dangerous, so I'm just kind of narrating. But yeah, you find like a small silver cup that you kind of just a little mug. Yeah, it's just a bunch of like random little things as you're going. Some more bits of wood. Yeah. I would say at this point, as you're kind of walking through there, Zoxa, you make your way to the mouth of this trench finally, and you look around.
Do I hear him like kind of swimming up?
Hear him? No, there wouldn't be much sound for him swimming unless he's making noise specifically. Ah! Yeah. No, but there's no sign of Tita Zoxa when you get up there. He's just gone. Yeah. And yeah, it's seemingly the first one up there, which you know to not be true because Tita's way faster.
Right. I'll just wait for the rest of the party, I guess.
Sure.
I'm not gonna wander off like Tita apparently has.
Modi is not too far behind. He catches up and he's like,
Oh, I am physically exhausted. That was a lot of work.
Ah, that's correct.
he kind of just like lays back flat on the ground, taking a breather.
Oh, I'm not as young as I used to be, let me tell you.
Whew. Yeah, and Emmy, eventually, I don't know if Zoxa and Modi want to do anything while you're there, but eventually, I'd say maybe like 5 minutes after you get up there, Emmy makes her way up there with Corlena and the dead body of Algae, who they just kind of like lay on gently and sit on the edge.
Cool. Always fun.
Yep. And then it takes some time because Minerva, you head down to Diambra and you get to her and she's struggling. She's trying to swim. You can see that she's probably making a quarter of what everyone else is doing distance wise, even with her, strength. She's still, because she's got extremely heavy armor that
like hook an arm, under her arm and just help pull her up.
Oh, Minerva, if I didn't mention it before, this is the reason that I hate water.
Really? You didn't
Oh
mention
my
it before.
Oh, no, I didn't mention this before, but it is the worst. Going down into the water, not a problem, but coming back up is it's so strenuous.
Well, I mean, do you always wear all of that armor when you're underwater?
Well, it depends on what my mission is. If it's something that is not dangerous, then no, I'm not going to be wearing this armor, and I don't hate the water at that point. But if it's something, what?
I was gonna say, so you're fine with water. It's just armor and water you don't like.
Yes, and I knew that if I was going on a mission with you, it would be dangerous, which means I had to wear my armor, which would suck. But
Yeah, I kind of just assumed that you were afraid of water in general. I felt kind of bad asking you to come.
afraid of water? No, I'm afraid of nothing, Minerva.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, at least I don't feel bad now asking you to come. I did feel a little bit bad because I thought you were scared of water, but now I don't feel a thing. Thanks for being here.
You don't have to feel bad as long as you help me get up there, because this is terrible.
I will.
Great, thank you. And yeah, the two of you kind of hook arms and continue up, and you can feel the weight, like as you're trying to help her up, you can feel the weight as well. Like you guys are now moving about half speed as well, kind of like Emmy was. Tita, what are you doing? You still wandering through these?
No, I'll head back. It didn't seem like I found anything interesting, so
yeah, make a survival check to see if you can figure out the same way that you came.
Great. Oh, okay. Well, I have a +5, so.
Ooh, all right.
Oh, but I only rolled a 5, so.
Yeah, no, I would say you probably take a few wrong turns for the specific path, but it's like I said, it's not really a maze. It's just small bits of rock that block your vision in all different directions. So you kind of have to maneuver around them. So yeah, you make a few wrong turns. It doesn't hold you up too much. But yeah, you eventually get back to the group. But before you do, Minerva does make it up with Diambra before you come back. And at that point, Diambra kind of just plants her feet and she's like, that was awful. Are we ready to leave this watery grave?
I hope so.
Good. And then everyone starts to get up and Modi's like, where's Tita?
I look at Zoxa. Was he here when you got up?
I know he made it up first, but I haven't seen him.
I put a hand to my ear and I tapped the communicator a couple times.
There you go.
Tita, where are you?
I'm on my way back. Are you guys already all up?
Yeah, we all just got here. We want to leave.
Okay. I guess I'll just be a few minutes, I think.
Just sighs into the
Yeah. A few minutes goes by, Minerva. No sign of Tita. But yeah, I'd say probably about 10 minutes goes by since you've gotten up there. And then eventually, with your passive perception, you see Tita emerge from like these dark, jagged rocks far to the south.
Amazing.
Tita, I'm assuming, did you pick up all those pieces of wood? Like, are you carrying all those things that you found?
Yes, several. I'm definitely carrying several things for sure.
Oh, good, yeah. As Tita's coming back, his claws are filled with like bits of wood. He's got a rusted silver cup in one here, like a tarnished silver cup in one hand. Yeah, just all kinds of random things.
What you got there?
Nothing great actually. This cup's pretty dope, but I don't know. I just found this cool wood. It was clearly something before. Dude, he knows nothing. He doesn't care.
He knows nothing.
I'll fan it out. I'll be like, look at my shards of wood. Like, just...
if it's nothing, how did you take it?
I don't know. I was bored. I was waiting for you guys. And then I'll keep the cup, but I'll just drop all the other crap. Like,
oh my god.
Yeah, you let it go, and all the wood, it kind of slowly sinks for a second, and then just kind of stays in place because it's wood. Even when it's waterlogged, it still kind of has some buoyancy to it. So yeah, they start to kind of float.
I'll just let it go and it'll like float away.
Yeah, but yeah. You have the tarnished silver cup that you're holding on to.
I've got the cup. I'm good.
Coralina looks to the group and she's like, well, she looks to Emmy first, and she's like, I really appreciate you helping me. I wouldn't have been able to do that on my own. But I suppose, what was, and she kind of points to Tita. What was your name again?
Tita?
Where you just came from, do you think there's a place that we might be able to hide the body for now?
Yeah.
Okay, because maybe I can just have my people come and retrieve it. I don't know that I'll be able to get home with it on my own.
Okay. Would I be able to just carry him myself or no?
Yeah, you're underwater, so it's lighter technically. If you just throw him over your shoulder, the water kind of displaces the weight, so it's not super heavy.
Okay.
That would have been a lot easier.
For you, it's not the case because you were swimming straight up, whereas Tita is now walking. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna carry him a little bit into where I just came from, I guess.
Yeah, and yeah, there's definitely places you could find a spot to kind of stow the body for now.
That's it. She just asked me to put the body like somewhere.
Yeah, just to kind of keep it safe. She's with you right now. She follows you in this, so she knows where it is. She can point it out. Yeah.
Right. All right. Yeah, I guess I'll just go put it down, and then I'll kind of like step away, I guess, and like if she needs a minute or whatever.
She just kind of looks to you and she says, "Thank you. I appreciate all of your help for everything that you've done, but I think I'll head home now. Find some help."
Okay, and then I'll just kind of, I don't know, maybe like extend an arm or something in some sort of comforting way, and then just kind of turn and head back.
Perfect.
But I'm not going to say anything.
All right. This group, is there anything that you would like to talk about, do anything before you leave the water? Because we can just say that you take your journey home. It obviously is going to take time, but we can just fast forward unless you have something that you want to talk about. If there's any pressing matters, any items you want to look at, I would,
I want to ask if anybody knows anything about this staff that I done stole.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would love to know about that staff. But I can't do anything about it right now.
Yep. No spell slots.
Nobody would know anything about it?
I would, but I need to rest first.
I got nothing. Sorry, Emmy.
Oh, Zoxa wants to give Tita the shell necklace. This is something that he would do
Hold it,
something
gonna
with. I don't
look
know.
at it, I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna be so excited, and then I'm gonna like go to hug, but then remember that you don't like hugs, and then not hug, and then put it on.
Now, Zoxa, there were 2 shell necklaces. Did you give both to Tita or just one?
Oh, there were 2?
There were 2 shell ones, and there was also a silver pendant.
I'm keeping the silver pendant because I want to check it later to see if it's magic. I will give.
Oh, sorry, it's not a pendant. It's a locket. It like opens.
The locket, yeah.
Yeah.
Silver pendant locket.
Oh.
That's what it says. You know what? I'll give the other shell necklace to Minerva.
Oh, look at that.
You'll here. I can't do anything with this.
What do you think I'm gonna do with it?
I don't know. Wear it.
Do I see him handing it to Minerva? Like, did he give?
Oh yeah, you're right there.
Oh yeah.
So then I'm just gonna look and like be like, yo, like necklace buddies, like.
She'll put it on. Yeah, I guess.
Oh, hesitantly put it on. Right. Anything else you want?
Can I just slide in and start singing? You're the best around.
Yes. With your what are the dulcimers, the little ding.
Are we still underwater though?
Yes.
Oh, I can't.
You're at the top of the trench, but you still have, there's probably a mile or so of water before you hit the surface.
All right, so I'm just like kind of singing it over the, like I can do I'm trying to sing it over the little speaker thing to everybody while this is all happening because I'm watching it and I'm like, yeah, group hug. No, okay, no.
I would like the whole trip home is just a concert that Emmy puts on.
No, Emmy, are you trying to have some sort of effect, or is this just for fun?
I'm just doing this for fun for
Make a
everybody.
performance
Like I don't
check.
really think we need help right now.
You make a performance check. I want to see how good. I want to see how good this drunken performance is.
Oh, what am I doing?
Performance check.
Oh, okay. It's an 11. Yeah.
So
not-
Emmy is over your little earpieces. So whoever has one, I think every one of you does, except maybe Modi or I don't know who, whatever. But you just start to hear this humming and this like out of tune, lyrics for something you've never heard before. It seems like it could be
crane kick in the background. Like
you listening to it, you feel like it has potential. It could be like a good music, good song, but whew, the deliverance needs some work.
She clearly needs a beverage.
All right. So is there anything else that you would like to do before you make your final journey to the surface and back to Isgard Prime?
I'm here for this singing montage.
Yeah.
So the singing montage happens, and we are going
Nobody
to.
joined in with me. Out of the whole.
I mean, yeah, I probably would have.
I feel like at one point you sing a song and Minerva's just kind of like almost like forgetting that the communicator's on. She's like, I know that song.
Camaraderie.
Oh.
I feel like Tita doesn't know the words to anything though, so he probably just wants to be a part. So he's just making stuff up as he goes.
Judging by the performance, I don't think Emmy knows it either.
Yeah, no, I didn't get the words right either.
Anybody's game.
You're the best in town. Never gonna get you around.
Oh, fantastic. So for your very long journey back, you have a wonderful rendition by Emmy. And yeah, it is fairly uneventful. But we're going to jump back to Zinesi and Kubrick, who have bedded down for the evening. Zin, when you wake, you only have one level of exhaustion and 1 point from your intelligence, which means you are almost back to the complete Zin.
Oh, baby.
Findel. Oh, why didn't do you need a last name? Because that would be perfect. Findel.
I do not have a last name right now. So
Something to think about. You know I love punny names. So
no plunder.
all right. Oh, let me get my hat.
My hat. Get my hat.
So you wake up, you feel a little more refreshed than you have the last few days. And when you wake up, Kubrick is he's still asleep. He's like sprawled out over his cot, arm hanging off, his head's half hanging, drool, just. And then, yeah, you can do whatever you'd like.
Awesome. The first thing she's gonna do is look at Kubrick and be like, wow.
All disheveled, like shirts untucked, the blankets are like twisted around his legs.
The picture of grace. So she'll kind of like find her way into her wheelchair and kind of, make her way to where she's been working on things and look over her blueprints, think of what she needs to get done. Other than that, she's kind of just, thinking about what she needs to do and what steps they're going to take next, and she's very confused.
Yeah, because I feel like when you woke up, if I remember correctly, you woke up, you were told that your friends and allies were either killed or scattered through the galaxy. You were coming out of a coma, and you didn't really get much more information about what's going on with this group, what their plans are, their ambitions, nothing. You were just there.
Yeah.
You were not really well informed. So yeah, you can definitely absolutely contemplate, think about what you'd like to do and whatnot. But Kubrick eventually is gonna just falls off the bed, rolls up, kind of puts the hat on. Morning. Oh God. So what? I usually am up early. What's going on? So what's the plan for today? We need to get some more stuff.
Looks like it. As far as I know.
All right. Great. Let's do it. You want to go?
Sure.
All right. Well, I was going to ask you, do you know specifically what you would like to design to allow the electricity to, instead of as it hits the final end of the tube of this cannon, instead of just exploding, do you have a way to have it fire in a straight line? Like a bolt? What?
I Googled while you guys were.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Apparently there's a way like you could use lasers to kind of direct it, I guess.
Okay.
Nothing about physics. So like that's kind of my only lead. And then there's also like you can have it pass through another medium to have it be more concentrated. But so I guess she's gonna try that. Maybe like look for lasers or things to make lasers to kind of like.
Yeah, so you probably need, I don't know anything about that either. So I'm assuming you're going to need some kind of like mirror surfaces to direct the lasers, and I don't know. So you're going to, let's make as you arrive there, let's make a search for things to make a laser.
Okay.
Do you want Kubrick, do you want Kubrick to roll separately? Or would you like to get advantage if you can describe to him what you're talking about?
Oh God.
You said search for things to make a laser, and I just heard like MacGyver, like just
yeah,
like with a stick of gum, a rubber band, and
It's up to you. Do you want Kubrick to make his own
eraser,
roll?
refill.
He can
Because
make
I
his,
have rolled. I know the result, so it's up to you if you want him to make his own.
he can make his own because I don't know if I'll be able to describe what I want him to look for.
Okay. Yeah, so he rolled. What did you get?
Hold on, I'm updating my intelligence score. Not that I think it changes anything, but just in case. Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered anyway because I was a 6 + 2. So
6 + 2. Yeah, so you're searching around, and yeah, like I said, you can find plenty of metal, but you're having a real tough time locating anything that can help to reflect, refract, whatever it may be, the laser beams. And you kind of get back to the meeting point where Kubrick was, feeling a little disappointed and defeated. But then Kubrick comes strolling, just like the ha ha kind of stroll around one of these big junk piles, and you see he's got a little satchel over his shoulder, and he comes over and he's like, "I think I got what you need." And he kind of tosses it down in front of you, which he shouldn't be tossing it because it's volatile and dangerous. But he throws down, and you look inside, and he's got. You didn't even looking at Kubrick, you never would have expected that he would have thought that these things would come together to make something like a laser. But as you're looking through all these scrap pieces he has, you're like, oh yeah, this can go with this. And it's like he had an epiphany while he was gone with a natural 20 to try to find the exact pieces necessary to build that. Yeah, so he comes back with that bag and he's like, I think it's everything we need for that.
Yeah. Wow. No offense, but I'm impressed.
Hey, none taken. You know, this again, I'm impressed with myself. I didn't even know what I was picking up when I was grabbing all this stuff. It just looked like it could, it was shiny and it kind of reflects. So I figured it would probably work.
Oh, all right. All right.
Hey, look, I'm on a roll. What else do we need?
Well, let's see. We can focus it. We can make it. We can shape it. I don't know if we need anything else for that cannon. I can think of it anyway.
Well, I know you mentioned you needed some tools, right?
Oh, yes. I'll probably have to go out and get those.
We could, if you wanted, it's completely up to you. We could take the transport to one of those floating islands and grab a skiff over to the shops and see what we can find.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Great. All right, so the two of you jump into the transport and begin to make your way out to the floating islands. Meanwhile, time has passed. Obviously, the days have been different. Zin has slept more times than you have, which means your journey home doesn't quite coincide with what's happening with them at the moment. But they are currently out grabbing. Well, it evens itself out now because your journey home. But Zin and Kubrick are out. I say Kubrick, and I remember I still have his hat on. Zin and Kubrick are out and about, but all of you arrive on Isgard Prime at the docks down below. And it has been probably 5 days. It's been about 5 days in total of this journey. And yeah, what's the first thing you guys would like to do now that you're back?
Deliver the bust.
Yeah, we should probably get our money and then
Get
head back
paid.
to the lair.
Absolutely. So you guys can make your way to Madame Fairchild's. Minerva, you knocking? You hear a bunch of like locks. Oh, Minerva, that was quick. I was expecting you gone for a full week.
Oh, well,
Do you have it?
I had a lot of help. Yes, we have it. Zoxa, how are we getting it out of the bag?
May I see it?
Yes, you may. Well, I mean, I gotta say, I can't be the one to pull it out because I'm not gonna be able to lift it.
All right, Deandra,
So,
we got this.
Yes, I think I can handle it. And she goes over and so how does this work? I just fish my hand around until I feel it?
I mean, I think that's how it works, actually.
No, Mike, how it actually works is you stick your hand in and you think about what you want that's in there, and then it will appear in your hand.
Ah, perfect. Yes, that's the way.
That is the way.
So what
Oh,
do I have
breathing
to do?
creatures inside the bag can survive up to a number of minutes equal to 10 divided by the number of creatures. Good to know. Anyway, so you're gonna want to reach in there
Yes. She
and
puts her
then just
hand in.
imagine the bust.
Okay. And she like focuses for a second. Oh, and she starts to like pull her hand out, and you can see one of the shoulder, like the shoulder part of the bust start to come out. And she's like,
So easy now. Just
pulling.
the holding the bag. I'm like, you gotta.
No! She just stumbles back, but she catches it. Well, actually, let's see if she catches herself. She doesn't have very high dexterity. Oh, she does. Yeah, she catches herself. Here you are. And then Madame Fairchild's like, oh dear, I will not be lifting that. If you could go put that over there. And she puts
I thought you were gonna say, oh dear, that is not the bust that I wanted.
That would have been terrible.
Oh man.
Oh, I'm not that cruel, guys. Come on now.
There's definitely like a solid 3 seconds of heart sinking where it's just like, oh no, man, why?
Yeah. So she hurries over there and she begins inspecting, and she gets her handkerchief out and starts cleaning off some of the algae that's kind of grown on there and whatnot. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, Minerva. Give me one moment. And she like hurries off into a back room. Yeah, you're all kind of just left there for a moment. The bust is now on like a little pedestal, and that in her foyer where she's kind of like shifted some things aside for this new piece.
Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna while we're standing there waiting, I'm just gonna try the communicator and see if Zin is in range, because I don't know where she is right now.
She is, she's shop. Yeah, 5
Minerva
miles.
So she's gonna
5 miles. I'm gonna roll to see. Okay, go ahead. Make a message. What would you like to say?
Hey Zin, we're back. We just dropped off the statue.
There is no response. It's still a little too far. It's a big mountain. Okay. So you a few moments later, Madame Fairchild comes, hobbling out. Oh, may I see your credit chip, Minerva? Wonderful. And she takes it, and you see her kind of clicking on hers for a second, puts the two of them together, hands it to you. 1,000 credits for you.
Thank you.
And you know what? Can I see that again, please?
Oh, sure.
She puts it back. She does some more clicking. A little bonus for you as well for being so quick.
That's very kind of you.
Now, at the moment, I do not have any other work for you, Minerva. However, I am currently doing some research on another piece. I would say if you're in the area, maybe come see me in a week or two.
Oh, well, as it turns out, me and my group are actually going to head off on another job that we'd arranged a while ago.
Oh, is that so?
As soon as I'm back in the area, though, I will make sure to stop by.
Wonderful. If it gets to a little over a month, I may have to look for someone else. But of course, I would much rather have you take care of it for me.
I won't be offended, so do what you have to do.
Wonderful. If you'd like, you're more than welcome to stay for tea. But if you are time pressed, then again, it was lovely to see you, Minerva, as usual.
It was great to see you too. We should probably get going, but I'll visit again as soon as I can.
She nods to Zaxa, kind of pats Tita on the shoulder as you all begin to leave, and she kind of waves to Emmy.
So how much did she give me?
She gave you 1,000, and then she went and put another 200 on there.
Ooh, okay, cool.
You get 1,200 credits.
Nice.
And what is your next order of business? Back to the lair, or?
Yeah, I mean, that's where we left Zin and Cooper. That's where I would assume we could meet up with them again anyway.
Sure. How would you like to access it? Are you going to be going through Gurkis' shop? Are you going through like the lower levels of that mine? Are you heading through where the ships are? Well, the ship one's hard because there isn't really an easy way to get there unless you have a ship. But
I guess my vote is for the mine, but that's just me.
sure. What do you guys think?
Seems like the safest trek.
All right. At this point, as you're starting to leave and you're heading up to the marketplace to start heading down the elevators or the escalators or stairs, whatever they are, I don't remember. I think it's stairs, just they're regular stairs. It's Diambra kind of pulls you aside. She's like, so I kind of mentioned this before, and I did the mission with you and all, but I do. I will definitely come back with you to the lair, grab my things, say bye to everyone, because I definitely want to say bye to Zin, and I guess Kubrick as well. But yes, I just wanted to give you a bit of a heads up that I will be leaving shortly after we get back.
Okay. Yeah. That's I know you have to do what you have to do. So
She nods, and yeah, you all make your way back to the lair. You pass through Nindavalier Market. Of course, there's all the exciting sights and smells, and there's all of the sales people just out there shouting about the different merchants and blacksmiths, and you can hear Gurkis' name get yelled once and whatnot. And you make your way down the stairs and through all of the tunnels, and you enter into the main large chamber. You all head up to the upper level, and as you begin to step up the large steps, you see the hulking figure of one, and he just turns Minerva. And that's where we're going to end for the evening.
Yeah. I knew I should have tried to find a drink first.
Yep. So you come face to face with one. And yeah, we will pick this back up next week. So everyone, thanks so much for sticking with us. I know our time keeps changing. I think at the moment for the next week we're sticking with the same time, but we're going to try to play with it because we have some people who might be late and then some people might have to leave early. So it's going to be an interesting situation, but we'll figure it out and try to figure out the best time that works for everyone. Again, it'll always be Mondays and it will always be in the evening. Time might vary. But again, thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I'm sure we certainly did. And have a great night. We'll see you next week.